Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard.
Who are you joined by?
And I'm joined by Miniature Moosey.
Miniature Moose. Why are you doing the intro today?
I wonder.
Is it Monica Day?
I think it might be.
Yeah, it's Monica Day. All day, every day. Matt Damon is here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What the heck?
Oh boy. I hope everyone has a change of slacks. No one should hit play on this unless they got a backup pair of unmentionables and slacks.
I hope everyone's smiling from ear to ear throughout the whole thing because I sure did. Yeah.
I think we both did.
Yeah.
It is really funny to be sitting next to someone in an interview and feeling like you like him 100x, because that seems impossible because I adore Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of my all-time favorite actors. But I was so overshadowed by your love that I felt I don't even deserve to be here.
Of course you deserve to be here.
Okay. Well, that's good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool do you think I played it?
A 10.
Oh, thank you.
It was kind of similar to when we talked to Ben Schwartz about you having been in love with him, where he was like, yeah, this is how it was. And there was this element of like, it's not that way now, just so you know. It was very chill and very cool and very rad.
Thank you.
Yeah. Radical and chill, which is hard.
I was
fucked up.
Yeah, I was way more energized.
On the inside.
Yes, it was extreme. It was full body tingles the whole time.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I think at one point I really did almost pass out.
Really?
Because
at what part?
Well, at one point I was like, oh, I feel like dizzy. But I think maybe because I like stopped breathing or something because I was listening too hard.
Oh man, what an experience. I don't need to tell you any of this, but Matt Damon is an Oscar award-winning and Golden Globe award-winning actor, producer, and screenwriter. His credits include Good Will Hunting, Jason Bourne, The Martian, The Departed, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Informant, the Ocean's movies, and he has an incredible movie out that I watched prior to the interview called Stillwater. He's fucking awesome in this movie, Stillwater. And I watched it with Kristen. She too was obsessed with it. She insisted we finish it the next night, which is very unlike her. It is a great, great movie, Stillwater. So please check that out and enjoy Matt Damon / Monica Padman episode. We get support from Quince.
So we've been talking about Quince a lot lately, and as we head into fall, it's the perfect time to reset your wardrobe with their amazing pieces. I think it's so fun to do when the seasons turn over to just spruce up your wardrobe with a couple specials, and Quince is the place.
Totally. We're talking organic cotton, Mongolian cashmere, tailored chinos from just $60. Premium fit and quality you'd expect from a luxury brand designer. I love Quince. You know, I like it understated and subtle, and I like stuff that has high quality. And Quince checks all those boxes.
I love a lot of stuff from Quince. Honestly, they have incredible premium denim, which is very important for fall. It's pretty much all I wear in the fall is denim. And Quince has such a good selection of quality denim. Their stuff is so versatile, timeless, and built to last that you just grab every single day without thinking.
Right. And all of that for 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They go direct to ethical factories, cut out the middlemen, so you get all that quality without overpaying for it.
We love that. And they do way more than clothes. They have bedding, cookware, bath essentials, travel must-haves, same deal, and great quality.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dax. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax. We get support from Apple Gift Card. Back to school is here, and for many, that means some big life transitions. Whether they are heading into a new grade or setting up a dorm for the first time, you want to give them something that actually supports their growth and success. Apple Gift Card is a versatile solution because it takes the guesswork out of gifting. It's not just about a new pair of AirPods for focus. It's about giving them the invaluable chance to choose the digital tools and subscriptions that suit their unique journey. They can use it for productivity apps on the App Store, movie nights on Apple TV, or extra iCloud storage for all those new memories. With Apple Gift Card, it's so empowering to give the students their freedom to allocate their own resources. Celebrate their new academic chapter. Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to celebrate their milestones and gift one today.
He's an armchair expert.
This is beyond exciting.
I love what you're doing with the place, by the way. I hear that's 3.5 years in the making.
Yeah, what do you think so far? Do you want the name of our contractor?
It's coming along. I couldn't believe when he told me that was 3.5 years. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Oh, yeah.
We did this in Florida about 15 years ago, where I think I lived in Florida for 5 years, and I think the house was under construction all 5 years. And then we just fucking left and went to New York.
Yeah.
That's enough.
The only thing that has made it all tolerable is that I own a house like 1,000 feet that way that I've lived in for 16 years.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which now my sister owns. So we weren't uncomfortable. We would just like come over here and we'd have like a picnic. And yeah, it's gruelingly slow. And as you can see, we're far from the finish line. Yeah, the whole place is dirt. But you just got to see water in the pool, which has never been seen by anybody. This is novel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so congratulations. You got to see it
first. So the kids can swim. That's great.
I have to ask before we get started, have you been prepped in any sense? Has anyone ever told you anything about the show?
No.
Okay, great. I gotta get right into it.
Get right into it.
Okay. Monica.
I co-host the show. That's something to
Yes. This is
say.
a two-person operation. Monica Padman from Georgia and myself. Monica has seen Good Will Hunting. It would be incomplete to even guess. Over 1,000 times.
Oh, wow.
Way more than that, yeah.
And to the level where in school, she would close her eyes. This is my favorite part of it. She'd close her eyes and watch it frame per frame. And she could just sit there and watch the whole movie in her mind.
I had it on VHS. I would watch it, and then I would rewind and watch it again. And then once they came out on DVD, and then you guys had a commentary, then I would watch the commentary over and over and over again.
I know a lot of people that are into a lot of things. I've never met anyone that was as into one thing as Monica is into Good Will Hunting.
That's awesome to hear, though. Thanks. That's
Not to make you so uncomfortable.
No, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. That's really cool. I hope I can remember enough about it to answer questions if you have any.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what am I going to ask?
Can I guess that she knows way more than you about the movie than you do?
Yeah.
I'm positive of it.
I can't even get my kid to watch it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like
She's
a thing.
missing
Oh, my
out.
God, I got to show you one more thing.
I rewatched it last night in prep. Yeah, it's a big deal. And every time someone comes in here who's from Boston, the question is, do you know Matt and Ben as an entity? Have you met Matt and Ben? Do you know Matt and Ben? That's a go-to question.
So here's what, when people are on the show, they get one of these, right? So for Monica's birthday, I did you, but the initials for the name are W.H., Will Hunting.
That's right.
So that hangs in her dining room, and we often record in there, and then we post pictures, and people are like, who's W.H.?
Yeah,
It looks like Matt Damon, but you guys haven't had Matt Damon on. Anyway, so this is what you've sat down into. I would want to know.
All right, good.
And I thought maybe you would want to know. And
That's
more
great.
will be unraveled as we go.
All right.
She has a tattoo on her back of her face.
No, not yet, not yet.
Has Ben done the show yet?
No.
Okay. All right.
We have had Casey on, though.
We have had. Okay, cool.
And we talked about Good Will Hunting, and I want it because we're there already. Let me just say that I, too, loved it. My first movie with a girl I dated for 9 years was that movie, and we sat on the carpet of the movie theater because every seat was taken, and it was sold out, and I was like, let's just go. We'll buy a ticket to whatever, Transformers, God knows what, and then we'll just go in. When we did, we sat on the floor. And it was a seminal moment in my life, that movie. And I have a theory that I hit Casey with, and I kind of want to hit you with it.
All right.
Well, let me first ask you, how would you explain its success? Like, what about that movie do you think captivated people?
I don't know. Ben and I, when we wrote it, we always talked about just wanting to love. The way it's funny you talk about a VHS, we used to talk about it in those terms too. We said, if it's just a tape on our mantle, we want to love it. We kind of stumbled into a very wise strategy, which is just,
make the movie you want to be in.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a hard lesson to learn.
It is. And we had a lot of chances to make different versions of it.
Right.
And we didn't do that.
It kind of has the lore of Rocky. Like, do you remember growing up and learning that Rocky, like that Stallone had written Rocky and then they tried to buy it off of him.
Believe me, that's why we were able to do Good Will Hunting.
It's just knowing that story about Stallone.
His journey made ours possible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so not only did you know, you were using it as a North Star.
It was 100% a North Star, and we used to refer to it. Because the story we heard was that he was offered, I heard it was like $35,000, which in 1975 or whenever, he had a pregnant wife and he was broke. And we knew where he lived in the same kind of neighborhood in West Hollywood. We were told, we were pointed out the house that we lived in, where Ben was like sleeping on our couch because he had this engagement that had broken off. And so we were writing kind of in a living room that had all of his shit in it and where he would sleep. And we knew that Stallone had lived just down the street and that this had all happened.
And had experienced all the same things.
Yeah.
But basically, studios loved it and they wanted to buy it. And he said, I have to star in it. And they said no. And they offered him some outrageous sum of money to just let go of the script and not be in it. And then he took nothing.
And he was broke when he turned down the money.
Wow.
Because I think Ryan O'Neal was a big movie star and they wanted Ryan O'Neal to do it.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to imagine.
If it had happened that way?
Yeah. Because Ryan O'Neal was excellent.
Yeah.
It would be such a different movie, though. And Rocky was, God bless him, too, not a vain project.
No.
He's playing kind of a dummy who has similarly kind of a heart of gold, and he's washed up. You feel so... Have you seen Rocky?
No.
Oh, my God, really?
Maybe that'll be my new Good Will Hunting.
You're going to retire Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. Well, in your defense, if you're only aware of Rockies 3 through 6, you don't understand. The first movie was like a legitimate, it was nominated for best movie, or maybe even won.
It was nominated. I don't know. It might have won. I can't remember. But
yeah.
But just the end when he ain't going to be a rematch, don't want one. Like, oh, God, it's just like...
And how playful he is with Adrian and their little love affair is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh, she's plain and he's dumb.
Yeah.
For real, but it's
so
beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Okay, do you want to hear my theory on why the movie was so successful?
Sure.
I think we all feel special and unseen as humans. We feel like, God, I know I have something special about me no one's noticing. And we feel lonely and we feel unseen. And that was like wish fulfillment for all of us. Like, he is special. This janitor is so special.
Secret genius.
And he's got this secret power that no one's observing. And now people are going to observe. That, to me, is what was so catchy about it.
I've never thought of it in those terms, but that could very much be true. Something connected.
Well, I was on the outside at that time looking in. So I lived in LA. I'm auditioning. I'm not getting any work.
Yeah.
Brutal, lonely feeling. And I see this movie and I'm like, now I don't think I'm a genius, but I also think like, I want to get recognized. Like, I want this moment to happen for me.
Well, that's interesting because actually that would be the context in which we wrote it. We would have been doing exactly what you were doing, which is auditioning and not getting anything and feeling like we had something to offer. And
you did. Like, you were. It wasn't arrogance. That movie was brilliant. And you did. You had something. And yeah, I just think that's the most special, encouraging thing about that movie is like, oh yeah, I think.
That's cool. Yeah, I like thinking of it in those terms, actually. That's a nice way to think of it. But it would have been born out of the exact same feeling that you know very well. I was terrified in my early 20s that I was going to die because I felt like I was going to die without, like I had something to give. Yeah, I had something to give.
We were just talking about this.
Literally, we interviewed someone this morning. I was saying that this person had airplane anxiety. And I said, I don't have it because I have no illusion of control. Like, I am along for the fucking ride. If it goes down, what am I going to do? Get up and get involved? Like, I enter going...
Well, you do think you're going to get involved.
Well, I do think that, but that's a side note. But for 10 years in LA, when the plane was about to crash, I would think, oh, you fucking loser, man. You didn't do a thing. Like, you're going to leave and you didn't accomplish one of your goals. And it was so weighty and painful.
Yeah. Now that you bring it up, I had a terrible fear of flying. In my early 20s.
But you don't.
And now it's
not
fine.
at all.
Yeah.
Not that I want to go or I want the plane to crash at all, but like...
I don't want to die, but when I'm up there, when I think, okay, this is it, we're going down, I do think, man, I had a good fucking life.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful, and this is a totally happy success story, and I'm lucky.
That's exactly how I feel. The first thought would be about my kids. Like, I don't want to not be here for them.
Of course.
But for my own stuff, I don't have any complaints.
I know. Sometimes I get distracted by the notion that we evaluate life by its longevity as opposed to like what happened in the period of time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. When Paul Walker died, I was like, naturally, I was sad that dude died. He apparently was a nice person on all accounts. But at the same time, I also was like I had an incredible life. He probably had what maybe amounted to 5 people's lifetimes in this short period of time. Mm-hmm. How do we want to evaluate it? You can die early and it can still be a success story, I think.
It can, but there's certainly aspects. I mean, I just remember reading about his daughter, and I just was so sad.
You keep bringing the children up, and that's a
Children's
good thing
the
to
worst.
remind ourselves of. Yes, I have two as well.
There's your subjective. I look at all the travel I've been able to do and all the things I've seen, and by dint of the fact that this job and the era in which I was born, and it is a number of lifetimes the way we get to kind of move around the world. And so in some regards, yes, and then in other regards, there are those primary relationships that you want to nurture forever.
And you can have a, quote, successful life and be on the plane and not feel happy or that you lived the way you wanted to live. Like, the success doesn't equal.
Right. It's like, what are you calling success?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's going back to that thing about the tape on the mantelpiece.
Yes.
Well, let's put it this way. It is not an equal scale. So the pleasure of success does not equal the pain of failure for me.
Right.
Like the pain of failing for many, many years was ever present, and I thought about it all the time. I don't walk around hourly going like, God damn, look at this. This is good shit. Check me out. But I did walk around when I was not accomplishing what I was trying to do, and it's all I thought about. And I was like, yeah. And I was hyper aware of everyone else that was doing so well. Like even you. I remember watching that movie and going like, well, great. This fucking guy can write like a banshee too, huh?
It's hard to be generous when things aren't going your way.
When you're desperate, yes.
Yeah, and I remember that. I certainly remember feeling like, oh, the ugliest parts of myself are kind of laid bare when there's a scene in this movie where Adam Driver's character shows me this kind of estate that he's been given by our overlord that I really wanted. And Ben and I laughed so hard when I'm like, so he gave this to you. You know? It's like that feeling. And Ben and I, when we were writing it, we were like, so you got the lead in the Scorsese movie. Oh, well, that's, you know.
Yeah.
And suddenly
awesome.
we were like 22-year-old actors going like, oh, fuck that guy. How could he, why'd they cast him? But
Can you remember what age that switched for you? Because now I can own all my shittiness. I used to spread so many rumors about Vince Vaughn. I was just so intimidated by his talent, and I wanted to be him. Then, like, if I heard any smidgen, I would tell anyone I heard. And I'm like, now I think about it, I'm like, what a shithead I was. But I was just jealous and intimidated by his skills.
Yeah. I became more generous when things started going really well for me, probably.
I think that all the time. It's easier to be a good person when you're like showered and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Well, wasn't it Martin Luther King who said your character is tested by who you are in times of adversity?
Right.
I always think about that.
There's just really no excuse when you're in these positions to be an asshole. Like, you really can't.
Yeah, when people tell me that oh, you're so nice, I'm like, how could I
not be nice?
How else would I be?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how much energy it would take to be an asshole?
Well, you just said exactly what I've been experiencing for the last few years, which is people will say like, oh, you're really kind or you're generous. And I think, I'm not. I'm actually like a greedy little shit pig, but I've been given so much stuff I can actually be generous now. Like, it's not an accomplishment. I didn't work on myself to become this way.
I have done no work on myself.
But do you remember, like, was there an accomplishment or was there a movie or was there anything where you were finally like, oh yeah, I'm done with that. I'm rooting for everyone now, and I'm not scared anymore.
I remember when I did Courage Under Fire, which is a supporting role, but I remember I worked so hard on it, and I had to
permanently damage yourself, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I had to take medication for like a year and a half, and I fucked up my like adrenal system. It was like I did a number on my body, but it just took a lot of discipline, and I was really proud of how hard I worked, that I did it. And I looked at the performance, and I was like, that's good. That's my idea of what is good.
Yeah.
And when the movie came out, I didn't understand about like press kits. I didn't understand that the media was kind of directed to talk about the things the studio wanted them to talk about. And it was like Denzel Washington, Meg Ryan, Lou Diamond Phillips. It was like the big stars in the movie.
Sure.
And so when I started reading reviews of the movie, I wasn't mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember I was like 25 years old, and I remember thinking, well, I can't do it better than that, so I should probably quit. Maybe the business is telling me like, no, man.
If I can't get noticed.
Yeah. And then I still remember, a friend from San Francisco sent me the San Francisco Chronicle, and the reviewer in the San Francisco Chronicle, I don't know if it was still Mick LaSalle, if he was doing it back then, but singled me out and spent the review kind of talking about me. And I remember thinking, well, Dad, someone gets it.
Yeah.
Someone sees me.
Yeah.
Right? Like to your point about being seen, like I have something and nobody sees it, you know, but it's there. I believe it's there. And then when somebody tells you it's there,
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
wind in your sails, right? It like kind of can
Absolutely.
propel you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I have to admit something to you. This is so embarrassing, but it's the truth. So my second movie of my life was this movie, Idiocracy, and
Yeah.
I gained 40 pounds for it in like 3 weeks. So I gained all this weight, and mind you, I know I'm in a comedy. I know I'm in a Mike Judge comedy, but I had the most arrogant thought where I was in my trailer. Again, my second movie, I'm 29 or something, and I've gained all this weight, and I think, you could get nominated. I mean, they don't nominate people in comedies.
Oh my God.
But I start having this whole fantasy where I could potentially get nominated for an Academy Award on my second movie because I've gained 40 pounds. And I think we all have this De Niro thing in our head, like Raging Bull. So yes, if I'm you, and I went the other way, which is way harder, and I know that De Niro did it in Raging Bull, and then no one even comments on it, yeah, that's not supposed to add up that way.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. Like, Ben and I always tell the story. There's a movie that came out in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s called Fat Man and Little Boy.
Oh, about the bombs.
About the bomb. And the story that we heard was that the crew, they had a pool of how many Oscar nominations the movie was going to get.
My God.
Can you imagine how fucking mortifying that would be?
Oh my God.
Like, like the prop guy's like, guys, I'm going to say 6. I think only, stop it, Gary. No, just 6. I think we might not get them all. No, it's going to be 15.
Well, we're sweeping all the tech stuff, right?
Clearly, we're going to, exactly, right? The conversations like behind the scenes, and we're like, that's our nightmare, right? Of ever being. So, by the way, good for you for admitting that you had that conversation with the mirror in your trailer.
Well, listen, I can say that because it literally flips on a dime, which is it's either that or it's what a fraud I am. How'd they let me in on this thing? I suck. I'm the worst person involved. Another example of that is every time Chris and I attend like the Academy Awards or a night before party, the week leading up to the thing, I am telling myself, everyone there is going to look at me and go, why did they let this guy in? He's like, he was on Punk'd. Why is he here? That's my whole feeling the whole week. I'm a piece of shit. Everyone's going to be embarrassed. I'm there.
Still.
On the ride home from every one of these events, I'm literally in my head thinking, I might be the most popular guy in Hollywood. I think I knew everyone there. I think everyone was excited to see me. I think I was the life of that part. I literally... There's no zone where I'm okay.
But that's your operating zone. You're at a 0 or a 10. That's an addict brain. That's what happens. Yeah.
When you started going to all those parties, what kind of racket was in your head?
Well, the first year, so we went from watching the Oscars on TV to being in the front
receiving
row.
One.
Yeah, it was really like there was absolutely no...
Yeah, you're like an athlete recruited out of high school. You're like a high schooler, and a year later, you're famous. Yeah.
And those parties in that weekend, but right before the 2 nights before the Oscars or whatever, at the time, Patrick, our agent, who we've been with the whole time, he now owns WME. He's one of the Patrick Weitzel.
Also, suspiciously good-looking agent. Can we just?
Yeah, Robert Duvall told me 30 years ago that I had to fire him because I couldn't have an agent who was better looking than I was.
He's better looking than every actor he represents.
Oh, you got to get rid of that guy. I'm like, Bobby, what do you mean? He's great. He's my friend. He's like, can't have an agent better looking than you are. But,
you like steak, Matt? Argentina. Best steak in the world.
Oh, so you've met him.
I did a movie with him a few years back, and I just was like, every time I was around him, I just put record in the tape recorder in my head. I'm like, I want to remember every word he says.
I worked with him in '93. We did a movie called Geronimo, and I had lunch with him every day. I just loved him. He was a hero of mine, too, as an actor. So
I'll just tell you this. So before the table read, we meet him. Again, I'm having like imposter syndrome. I don't belong in this movie. Well, I meet him. And he's all over the place, man. He's talking about jujitsu and steak and all this stuff. And I don't know. It's just a very chaotic kind of first conversation. Yeah. And then he sat down for the table read. And I was like, oh, wow, I don't know that I've ever worked with someone who a word can't come out of their mouth that doesn't sound real. Yeah. Like just a whole other gear I've not witnessed.
Yeah, it's like one of the best actors in the world who's now 90. You know what I mean? It's like there's just nothing he can say that will ever appear false to you.
You know, it feels so fucking true. And then when he sat down and he started doing that thing, I was like, oh, he can still do that thing at 100%. Like he can do that.
So talk about not belonging. The year of Good Will Hunting, I was nominated as an actor. And the other nominees in the category, and I remember this because we still have the picture, it was Jack Nicholson, Robert Duvall, Dustin Hoffman, and Peter Fonda.
Oh my God, that's probably the best.
So,
that's probably the best. biggest nominee group ever.
So we took a picture at the luncheon and they printed it in the Boston Herald. And my father called me. He was howling laughing. He goes, it looks like one of those things at Disneyland that you put your head in. Because I look like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in this picture with these guys? And it made it into the local newspaper. So we cut it out and framed it.
But also what's, I think, crazy, maybe hard for you to process is now, if that picture happened, that would be normal. It'd be totally normal to have you in a picture with all those people.
Yeah, it's like Matt Damon and it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I still feel like the kid with his head in the thing.
That's good. Yeah, it must have looked like the valet ran up to give one of those guys their keys or something.
Yeah.
Like, how did this young kid get in this photo?
Yeah, no, it's really, and there's the Boston thing too of like, you're not all that, bro.
Oh, I know.
Like, we love taking you down a peg.
I know the specificity of the Boston thing is like, oh, yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Every sentence is basically like, don't think you're hot shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Wait, the agent. There was a story.
Oh, right,
there.
right. So you were going to party.
Right. That year of Good Will Hunting, they didn't do like CAA invites you to. It was like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon invite you to the CAA party.
Yeah,
now, meanwhile, so Ben and I are like, we started calling it our party. right. Because as far as we were concerned, it was our party. Like, who's coming to our party? Meanwhile, there's only 3 parties and everyone goes to all of them, right? So that was a huge one for us. Like, we walking in there, and it was every single it was Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and Sean Penn and fucking Robert De Niro. We're like, what the fuck? They're all at our party.
At your party.
But yeah, so that was a big one.
It must be so much more fun to be sharing the fish out of water experience with somebody. Like, you basically got to do it with a wife.
I don't know how people do it by themselves. It's so surreal. Just the getting famous thing is really surreal.
It really is. Can I ask what your specific thing that you were like, oh, I wasn't anticipating this?
The relentlessness of it. What it took me, I think, years to realize was that nothing in the world changes, right? The big things are still the big things. Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
Everything's the same.
Yeah.
And intellectually, you understand that. But your subjective experience is never going to be the same.
Right.
Right? It's like somebody rewrote a little bit of code in your subjective experience. And so your world is entirely different.
Yeah.
But the world is exactly the same. And it's a real mindfuck. And so I was lucky that I was 27 because I lived through my 20s slugging it out, falling on my face, getting rejected a lot.
Yeah.
Living a real life.
Yes.
And so I had some context for what was happening to me.
Yeah.
And I also had real friendships and a great family and a real foundation that I could lean on.
Yeah.
But I've never felt so fucking unmoored. It's a real weird thing. And it's really hard to explain the comprehensiveness of it to somebody to whom it didn't happen.
And rightly so, there's really no empathy on the table there. Like, of course, why would I feel bad or even want to explore how that could be bizarre because you're Matt Damon and
yeah, right. Of course, you certainly don't want to be seen to be complaining about it because it's also something that's for some fucking weird reason coveted in our society. So yeah, right. And because the world is still the world, the real intractable problems in the world still take absolute precedence over anything, including your little subjective experience. So you shouldn't bitch and cry about it, right?
Yeah.
So you don't.
Well, okay, so I don't know exactly where you're from. I mean, I know you're from Cambridge, but I do know Boston. I've worked there. I know the vibe there. It's not super dissimilar to Detroit, where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So here was one really weird aspect for me was all growing up, if I sat down at Denny's and then you're a man and I stare at you, and you stare back at me, and I hold my fucking glare at you.
You guys are going to the glory hole in the bathroom.
No, not him. I wish. No, in my town, you were going outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's going one of two ways.
Yes. But dudes regularly, dads left restaurants and fought in the parking lot where I grew up. It was you could not stare at someone in the face, and then if they stared back and you held it, that was a fuck you, you'll look away. So I was getting over a lot of these men just staring at me. And then I look at him like, what's up?
Right.
And then they just hold because they're watching TV. But I'm looking at a person. That was really uncomfortable. I'm like, I felt like I was getting in a fight all the time.
Wow. Yeah. Again, it's your subjective experience becomes very different. Like the world changes in The way the world treats you is different.
Yes,
and so all of the normal cues that you're used to reading and understanding don't apply to your life anymore. So you have to kind of relearn everything.
Yeah. And you're like kind of predicting interactions that now have this way different spin to them than all the other versions you've had.
But again, look, we obviously can't complain about it, nor would you want to.
We're not complaining. I think we're observing what it's like. I feel good about that.
Your experience is still your experience.
Right. No, we're I guess, explaining the experience. Yeah. And we're all prisoners of our fucking subjective experience. You know,
no matter who you are.
Right. We know what we know, and we're blind to what we're blind to.
I could see it making someone really paranoid and making their world very, very, very small.
That's a real thing. That's very, very true in my experience. And in fact, the people who get famous younger, I've noticed they get pushed into a smaller experience. I remember the first time I met George Clooney a long time ago, he said, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm okay, man." And he was like, "Don't let him keep you inside."
Oh, wow.
And when we subsequently worked together on Ocean's 11, I said, "That really was profound and wonderful what you said to me." And he goes, "Well, I should footnote it." He said, "Paul Newman said it to me when he met me."
Oh, wow. That's a good tip.
It's a great tip. Right?
Yeah.
Come what may, don't let it.
Yeah, keep living.
Right. Because I have another friend who recently said something I thought was great, which was just say yes. He goes, "You know what's going to happen when you say no. You're going to stay in your house. So say yes to life. When someone says, 'Hey, do you want to go do this?' Yes. I do. I have no fucking idea what's going to happen, but something's going to happen, and it's called living your life."
Yeah. Can I tell you one of the most unforeseen aspects of getting sober that I would have never accounted for was I went on my first vacation sober, and within an hour I was like, oh my goodness, what does one do on vacation? Because all I would do is like, I'd order a drink, which would turn into 15, which would turn into me meeting people, which would turn into me going somewhere. Like, I never had a plan on a vacation. I would just order a Jack and Diet, and then the fucking vacation took off. But as a sober dude, I was like, I don't want to sit by this pool forever. I don't want to talk to anyone sober. I don't want to, like, what the fuck am I doing here? You're at someone's house in Jamaica, and you're like, what the fuck?
Who are you?
Yes, it's lovely. So you got to kind of force yourself to, like, to re-engage in that behavior without the other thing.
Right.
Which is like, yeah, let's do it.
I'll probably regret this, but I'll say yes.
Oh my God. Kristen was doing press in Cancun, Mexico for a movie, and I went with her. And during the day, she had a driver. I'm like, I heard there's a great restaurant downtown in the heart of Cancun. So I go with the driver. We're chatting the whole way. Very friendly guy. He's, oh, yes, I've heard of this place. It's the greatest. Everyone loves it. And I said, have you ever eaten here? And he said, no. And I said, well, come in. Let's eat together. So we have this lunch together. It's really lovely. And then so by the time we leave, we're bros now. And he says, I'd love to introduce you to my girlfriend. I'm like, perfect. So we go to this house and I meet this woman in the middle of Cancun. And she doesn't know who I am at all, but he's telling her to Google me. So she Googles me. And just by seeing that many images came up, she got excited. And then, can we take a picture? Yes, there's nowhere really to stand. Will you sit down and she'll sit on your lap? Anyways, it's just all kind of like, I just kind of come to, right? And there's this young woman in a skirt sitting on my lap. And I'm in this little house in Cancun. I was like, well, you could write any story based on this photo. It's very incriminating. And I got back and I had to tell Kristen, like, so look, through this many turns of events, I ended up in a very tiny house with a young woman on my lap in a photo, and who knows if that gets out.
Another thing to make you paranoid, there might be pictures of you, who knows?
In this house holding a woman I never met. Anyway.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We are supported by Walden University. You know that feeling when you've been thinking about making a move, going after the degree, the promotion, that thing you keep telling yourself you'll get to someday? Walden University is built for that moment. For over 50 years, Walden has helped working professionals get the W, the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence to create real change in their careers and communities. Their programs are designed around your life, not the other way around. With Tempo Learning available in select programs, there are no rigid schedules or set weekly deadlines. You move at your own pace. And Walden's faculty aren't just academics. They're practitioners who bring real-world experience into everything they teach. From your first class to career coaching and beyond, Walden is your partner the whole way. Take the first step and learn at a pace that works for you. Visit waldenu.edu. Walden University. Set a course for change. Certified to operate by Chev. This episode is brought to you by the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. From the world and creators of The Big Bang Theory comes a new comedy series. Stuart Bloom, comic book store owner and lovable underdog, accidentally breaks a device built by Sheldon and Leonard and kicks off a full-blown multiverse Armageddon. Now, he's on a mission to put reality back together alongside his girlfriend Denise, a geologist named Bert, and physicist Barry Kripke. Along the way, they're running into alternate universe versions of characters you already know and love. Check out the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, now streaming exclusively on HBO Max with new episodes Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Subscription required. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi High Yield Checking and Savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi Checking and Savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi Checking and Savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. This episode is brought to you by ServiceNow. Look, I have my dream job. I get to talk to folks I admire like crazy and ask them virtually any question that I want to. I can't imagine a better way to spend my time. But even dream jobs have some not so dreamy parts, the stuff that gets in the way of the actual work. Now, that's where ServiceNow's AI specialists come in. They don't just tell you what you should do about your busy work. They actually do it, start to finish. Cases closed, requests handled, no extra work for you. So you and your team can focus on what matters most, which for me is, are they obsessed with male bodies on the same level as I am?
They never are.
To learn how to put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com. Okay, so one brother or two?
One.
And you're younger?
Yeah.
How much younger?
3 years.
Okay, parents got divorced at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3. I have a 5-year-old older brother.
Okay.
Mom raised you, right?
Yeah. And my dad was very much there, but we would go every Tuesday night, every other weekend. It was one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood you lived in, was it hard scrabble, would we say?
Yeah. It was a blue collar neighborhood.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, in my blue collar neighborhood, like manliness was everything. And I didn't have a dad around going like, you're on track, son. So I was very drawn to like whatever boys were doing. I was just insatiable for that male approval. And I wondered if you experienced any of that.
No, my dad was such a part of our lives that I wasn't seeking that out elsewhere.
Okay.
We played a lot of sports. I was an artsy kid. I loved doing theater, and we lived in kind of what we called a co-op house, kind of like a commune.
There's like 6 families inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a triple decker, but it was like a double wide triple decker.
Right.
So there were 6 families instead of 3.
It was like the Hot Wheels container you put the cars in.
Exactly.
Turned upside,
It's a massive rectangular box of joy. Kind of a hippie, kind of lefty, but in a real neighborhood. All kinds of people, and I mean, it was idyllic in a lot of ways.
It was.
Yeah, really, it was really wonderful.
And did you think your brother was the coolest guy on the planet?
He was definitely the coolest. He was actually the coolest guy on the planet.
He actually was. This is the one guy who was.
Yeah. And the difference for me, I think, then from you is the 3-year difference. What that allowed was when I got to high school, he was a senior.
Right.
So I was like protected.
Yeah, were you?
Yeah. It was 3,000 kids in that school. It was a tough school. And
right.
I was a little kid. And
you were?
Yeah, till my junior year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The first time I see you in my life is School Ties, which I loved.
Right.
And it's a Brandon Fraser vehicle.
Sure.
That's his movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's this guy. This guy is so good looking and he's in such good shape. I remember as a boy who you were 5 years old, I'm like, look at this fucking body.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah. So I assumed you just looked like a gymnast your whole life.
A gymnast.
In that movie, you look like a gymnast.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. You got the deltoids and you're fucking jacked, lats, the whole nine.
I haven't seen it in 30 years,
I would love
man.
to sit with you and watch it because I would pause it with a laser pointer, and you are looking as good as a human body can look in that.
Well, I was fucking 20 years old, man. I mean,
you were doing.
I turned 21 on that movie.
And did you work out a lot?
For the movie, yeah.
For the movie.
So that movie, School Ties, I don't know how many times we auditioned, but we must have auditioned 25 times. And it was like one of those things you get pulled in with groups, and and Chris O'Donnell's in the movie, Cole Hauser's in the movie. Ben and I both tried for Brendan's part. Everyone tried for Brendan's part, and then they go, no, maybe you're better for this guy. Maybe you're better for this guy. We did screen tests at Paramount. I'll never forget.
Oh, wow.
It was a big deal. And then they found Brendan. That was another one because Chris got Scent of a Woman before School Ties came out. And so the press packet on School Ties was all about Brendan and Chris.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, I got overlooked on that. You know what I mean? It was like,
I remember going like, I'm into this dude. I really like this dude. And he's the bad guy, but I'm kind of drawn to him.
oh, that's good.
When did it start with Goodwill for you?
Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
That was my
Uh-huh,
intro.
uh-huh.
That was my intro. But then I went back. Then I did all.
You did
all
do
of
School
them.
Ties.
Yes,
Because
I
he's
did.
great in it, and the body's
Of
off
course.
the charts.
You should know, since you don't listen to the show, just so you don't feel uncomfortable. Dax loves male bodies. It's not just
It's not- okay.
yours.
I have a calendar here with all my favorite male
yeah,
bodies.
there's lots of
Yeah.
male bodies in
Just-
there for him.
Again, the whole guy thing and not a dad. Like I thought Schwarzenegger looked great. Like, oh, that's a great way to look. We were kind of jaded. I mean, we were in the first era of people that saw action stars that didn't look like humans anymore.
Yeah.
Prior to that, you like Bronson was killing people and
Sure,
Clint
yeah.
Eastwood. These are the guys that like rained hell on folks, but
Right.
they weren't jacked.
No. And then the freakish workout thing of the 80s just
Yeah, and anabolic steroids, they really became.
Right. That marriage.
Yeah, it's a good combo. When done in tandem, it really yields results.
We have to add, what percentage do you believe in the simulation?
Yes, great question.
Oh, quite a bit.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Because how could you and Ben both have been in that movie? School Time, like how could it all work
Well, Ben
out?
didn't
the
make
way-
it. Ben didn't make it.
No, he's in it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a small part. He's
Oh.
one of the 6 guys.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I
There's
know
a
my
weird
stuff.
parallel, though, because I'm now remembering that Ben was also the dickhead in
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and
Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of both got in
Yeah, got him
the
playing
door.
dickheads.
Yeah. And you're both so nice.
Yeah.
You're nicer than him, I think.
I'm so much nicer than
You are, right? Yeah. Well, Monica's in love with both of you, like head over heels. Had
Yeah.
posters, has read
But
every
it's
interview.
tied.
Well, my wife, in fact, she was a Ben fan. Yeah, before we met, and her best friend was on my
Your
team.
team.
And so we still joke about that. I'm like, I've always got Eileen
As a backup
if she has a
plan.
backup. If Lucy fucks me over,
Oh, that's great.
It's really fun how us on the outside, like, here's what happened to me. I saw Good Will Hunting. I fucking loved it. The fact that you guys wrote it. But I don't know, in my head, I made it that you wrote it. I don't know why. I just did. I'm
because
like,
I played the smart guy in the movie.
That
I
must
think that
be.
happened. That was
Yeah.
actually a thing. In fact, it was actually kind of painful. SNL at the time did a skit, and I was doing rounders in New York, and I was in my rented apartment sitting there, and I would watch Saturday Night Live because I loved it.
yeah.
And I turned it on, and there was a skit, and all I remember about the skit was like, I was writing the whole movie, and Ben was like, they played him like a caveman.
Oh God.
boy.
Like just, and he was just sitting there like doing hammer curls, and I was like, "This is," but it was like it was so deeply offensive.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Sure.
Anyway,
You're right. That has to be why I thought that. Just because
Yeah.
the character was a genius.
and because I was the lead of the movie, so people are like, "Oh, well, you must have done everything."
you
And
went
it
to
was just
Harvard.
not
He,
true.
did he go to Harvard?
No.
So
no.
that was another element. I'm like, oh, this guy went to Harvard. He's a genius,
Right,
And he
yeah,
was a genius
really
in the
not.
movie, and he wrote the whole thing,
Right,
And the
right.
tall guy's getting some of the credit.
Oh
Right.
God.
That's what I'm just
But you were also probably feeling.
intimidated by Ben.
Yes.
Intimidated because at least by me, because well, I'm taller than him.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I said that at some point when I was jealous of you. Yeah,
Fucking shrimp.
the guy's a
must
good
have
actor. He's a
been-
good actor. Short guy.
Yeah.
Short. Little
guy?
guy.
Little
Yeah.
Matty Damon?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know him.
He's a good actor. That kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Little fella.
Was that an issue for him? Was he like, I want to be the? I mean, maybe that's a question for him, but like maybe I want to be the lead. You know what I mean? Like, how did you guys decide
only
when you're writing it?
literally only because I had started it in a playwriting class. And so
right.
I'd written what it ended up being one scene survived from the 40 pages that I brought to Ben. Like about 6 pages survived.
Wow.
But everything else, we just redid everything. But I'd come up with the characters, and the characters were like, this is the smart guy, and this is the guy, and this is his best friend. And what we really would have done if we could have was just write a movie about the young guys.
The 2 guys, yeah.
But we needed to get it made.
Yeah.
So we needed to have a part that attracted a movie star, and that was how we ended up with the therapist.
Yeah. Are you at a point that you can evaluate the gift? And you probably have always been this way. You seem like a generous person, but the Gus Van Sant of it all.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like it's just a perfect storm, right? I mean, you guys are so fresh and it's such a point of view and it's so earnest and honest to your guys' experience. And then you add in this artist.
Yeah.
I have a bad example. I was watching Pee Wee Herman Adventure with my kids the other day. They hated it, by the way. Don't show your children, or if you haven't already. I was watching and I was like, Tim Burton. Like, what are the odds that you're Pee Wee Herman and then the director that gets put onto your thing is young Tim Burton, who's about to be one of the greatest, most creative directors of all time? There's just some really wonderful sometimes things that happen.
Yeah.
And I would just say Gus Van Sant's part of that, right? Just like
But not only part of that, I mean, it's a director's medium. I mean, it is Gus's movie. I mean, we wrote it and we're in it, but like we had a whole kind of ceremonial thing where we literally handed him because a screenplay is just a blueprint. It's the drawings for this beautiful house you're building out here.
Still building
decade-long
3 years later.
But
this is like Cheops in Pisa.
right, exactly. So it can only be a director's movie. It's the buck has to stop with someone, and so it's Gus's movie.
Yeah, there's a heart that just throughout every single scene that is hard to capture on film that has been done there perfectly.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with him and working on the script, taking all of his notes, and there was a lot of work in pre-production. He really knew the movie he was making when he...
Well, I was going to ask you if this is lore, and I promise we're going to stop asking you questions about the first movie you ever did, but it's so impactful for both of us. I had heard through the grapevine that there was a version of the script where you actually would go to work at NSA and it became kind of an espionage-y thing.
Totally.
Right? That's true?
Yeah, it was a lot more like kind of Midnight Run, which was another movie that we loved.
Yes.
It had like Beverly Hills Cop, like there were guys tailing Will around. That was the script we sold. It was a high concept thing, and we went to Castle Rock, which was great that we did that because Rob Reiner eventually came into one of these meetings and said, "What's with this whole NSA thing?"
Oh my God.
And we were like, because that's the movie you guys want to make.
Midnight Run, Beverly Hills Cop.
And he was like, this other stuff is really, I think, the movie. And so we resisted it at first because we went home, we took out all of that stuff and we had 60 pages. And we were like, what the fuck are we going to do? And that's when we had the whole conversation. Well, what movie do you want on the mantle? Yeah. Because we were like, well, this movie, no one's going to see this one.
Yeah.
But we were like, but this is what we really want to do.
Yeah.
And they're giving us permission to do it.
Well, Rob identified that the part of the movie that he liked was the part that was your story.
The rest of it was totally derivative of other movies that we liked, right?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
That's another weird blessing, because I got to imagine at that age, if it's not Rob Reiner that says that, you guys might not listen.
Right.
What another gift that
simulation. It's simulation-y.
Simulation.
You're living in one.
We're living in
code.
one.
Fucking
we're
code.
living in one. You want to hear a crazy idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I talked to Demis Hassabis a few years ago. He's the guy who does DeepMind.
The big AI thing?
The big AI thing.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with him, and I asked him about simulation. And he said, well, it's interesting. It's an interesting question. I can tell you that I have built the most complex simulation on planet Earth. And he goes, something's going on. And I was like, whoa, what'd you say?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And he started to explain that he found that primitive Earth was kind of the best, about 10,000 AI was kind of the right number, and they kind of form tribes, and you'd need opposable thumbs. Like suddenly you needed all of the same things that kind of we are. And he said, look, if we build simulations to kind of solve our problems, right? To kind of model things.
Yeah.
So if this is a simulation, then we are the AI.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
And he goes, so just imagine if we ever become advanced enough to hack our way out of this. He goes, because what if the creator we're confronted with is more simple than we are?
Which, by the way, will be our future.
Yes.
We will eventually create
Exactly.
things that we don't understand.
Yeah, right.
Or it's already
Exactly.
probably happened.
Right. Yeah.
Oof.
It's good stuff.
Well, because
Good brain melting stuff.
yeah, we talk about it nonstop. And we actually did a specifically just simulation episode, and it's hard to lock into what one you believe in. Like either you're real and everyone else around you is sim. The current theory we left with is like, what if this is one of the 10 million models that are being run to figure out how to deal with climate change?
Mm-hmm.
Like currently, wherever this thing was invented, they're dealing with climate change. So they ran 10 billion models to see if anyone could solve it. And we're just one of the models that's trying to solve it. And it happens for the computer in a second.
Right.
But for us, it's just this 80-year ride.
I started really thinking about it when in 2016, when in the course of a month, the Cubs won the World Series and Donald Trump was elected president. I was like, come on.
Yes.
This ain't happening. This isn't real.
Yeah.
You know what my final piece of proof I've decided where I'll believe wholeheartedly it's simulation is I keep watching 60 Minutes and they keep interviewing people at MIT that seem to have shut down aging. They're doing it in mice, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're erasing part of the epigenome that turns off genes.
Yeah.
And in doing that, they bring them back to their like 20-year-old self. And they've done it. They do it. They have reversed aging in mice.
They have it with mice, yeah.
Yes. So my thing is like, if I find out in a few years that I'm going to be living forever, that's the time to go like, all right, guys, what were the odds that in 150,000 years of human being here, I was born in the year where you could turn your aging off?
It's funny. I had that conversation with my dad before he died because I was like, can you imagine the cruel irony if we are the last two generations? Like if you laid out, there's some statistic, like if you laid out playing cards to represent the history of the earth, right? You would stretch them for like 10 miles, right? And the decks of cards, one after, the playing cards would go for 10 miles or a mile, whatever it is. Human beings, human life would represent one piece of the last card
Yeah.
that you put down there.
Yeah. There's the geological calendar they do too. Or it's like if you overlay 5 billion years of history into a 365-day calendar.
That's right.
Humans
That's right.
arrive at 11:59 p.m. on
the
December 31st.
the final day, right? Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Right, exactly. So working with that kind of time scale, what are the odds that we are the generation that understands that aging is going to be reversed,
Yes.
but dies before it happens to us?
Yes.
Like, is that epically bad luck?
Yeah, like you're on your deathbed and you're drifting off, and on TV there's a line of people getting vaccinated for aging, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, almost made it.
Talk about like watching the bus drive away. You didn't make it.
Right.
Oh, that's cruel.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to seamlessly apply that to your career by saying, despite these setbacks up until Good Will Hunting, I don't know that I've observed a career, maybe a handful, that it seems you've chosen right. Like, I mean, impossibly so for the last 20 years, where soon as Good Will Hunting happened, you certainly got offered the lead of many things. And for 5 times the price you had just made, that's so fucking tempting. And then yet you're taking more supporting roles. You're doing all these things that I want to know how you had that kind of foresight.
So in some ways I got lucky. Like before Good Will Hunting came out, Ben and I each got offered movies. He got offered Armageddon. I got offered Saving Private Ryan. We would have done either one.
Right.
I mean, I would have happily done Armageddon. He would have happily done Private Ryan. But there was something about, because I had done The Rainmaker with Coppola.
Yeah.
In one calendar year, I had a Coppola movie, a Spielberg movie, and Good Will Hunting come out, Gus's movie. So it was just like
You got
fucking
stamped.
lucky. Yeah, just incredibly lucky. And then,
But you could have definitely mismanaged that. Many people have.
and I did. I made movies that didn't work, but as long as one out of every 3 of them kind of worked,
If you got 2 in the bank, yeah.
right?
Or-
Then you can kind of keep. They let you keep going. And then I had a lull right before Bourne came out in like 2002. Where the phone stopped ringing and it was like, oof.
Can I ask really quick, in those moments, what kind of story do you tell about your life? Are you like, yep, knew that was going to happen? Or
No, actually, by that point, I was like, well, I wrote my way out of obscurity. And
I can do it again.
Yeah, I can do it again. And I'm in a much better spot than I was 5 years ago. So
Right.
I'm okay.
Oh, that's good.
So there was never any panic. Like, I better take this big shitty movie because I'll never work again if I don't. Like, I didn't have that feeling. I kind of felt like, oh, it's okay. It'll suck not to be offered stuff anymore, but I can still try to figure something out.
Yeah.
And hustle. But then the Bourne movie, that was a huge, like, it was like an inoculation, like where I knew I had another Bourne movie in 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I was really free to do whatever
That is
I
so
want it.
nice. Yeah. It's kind of like you had a safety net for 14 years.
I mean, certainly up until 07. 2002 to 2007 were the 3 movies.
Okay.
And then we did another one 5 years ago.
Right.
And then, I mean, I had The Departed in there in that
Yeah,
time. Like,
yeah.
You know, where it's like, you get called from Scorsese. It's like a dream.
It's pretty bonkers. Who directed The Firstborn?
Doug Liman.
Yeah, Liman.
Yeah.
He didn't direct all 3.
No, he directed the first one, and then Paul Greengrass directed the next ones.
I was thinking, to be in a franchise, you're in a weird way, you're kind of like on a TV show. Because when you're on a TV show, which I was on once for 6 years, you're in this weird dynamic where every week you have a new guest director coming in.
Right.
Sometimes they've seen the show, sometimes they haven't, and they're just lying. And you're in this bizarre position where you as the actor probably know the show better than the director does. And so there's like, the trust is a little harder. And I just wonder what it's like to have done The Firstborn. It's so wildly great in so many ways and successful. And then someone else comes in. Do you feel the sense of like, I know what this thing is?
No.
You didn't?
Not at all. Not at all.
Really?
No, we struggled with the first one. We were over budget. We were over schedule.
That's kind of a Doug move, though.
Yeah.
He kind of works beautifully in chaos, it seems.
He does. I love him, and I would work with him again in a New York minute. I love Doug.
Yeah.
And he's a great director.
Yeah.
But he does thrive in chaos. Like,
Yeah.
he's creatively, like, that's his jam. Like, he's great, like, better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah. I love that.
In chaos, and he gets great stuff because of that.
Yeah.
But when it came time to do the second one, the studio was like, they didn't want to go through that again with him.
Right.
And so they started asking about other directors, and I saw Bloody Sunday. And Paul, for a director of that caliber, Doug or Paul or any of those guys, they have to, it's not an assignment where they come in and go like, hey, I'll direct this one. It's like, this is a year of my life.
It's going to be their movie.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's what do I want to say with it? How does it fit into my body of work?
Yeah.
I remember Paul came to Prague and had dinner with me. I was shooting a movie there, and he came, and that was the first time like I'd sat down with him. And I mean, he's a brilliant guy, and he comes out of journalism, and just an incredible guy. But those movies were very much Paul's.
Okay, as you're like building, without your full awareness, this huge body of work, was the driving force like, I want to try playing that, I want to try playing this, or was it, I want to work with that director?
Yeah, it's the latter. Yeah, the latter.
That's such a smart way to go. My ego was like, I want to be a tough guy in a movie. I don't care who directs it.
No, I could have done better roles. I would have been probably perceived to be a better actor, but I wouldn't be a better actor. I'm a better actor because I went for the director.
Yeah.
Always.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's also kind of egoless. Like, I applaud it.
No, it ends up being very rewarding because then he's in Scorsese movies, he's in Soderbergh movies. It's like with Kristen being so generous, the money just keeps coming
Somehow
because she keeps
keeps-
giving it
I know.
out.
It's a
It's a weird reversal.
For every $1 she makes, she gives 2 away, and then 2 comes
that's-
back.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
awesome.
understand it. It's
But
wonderful.
I did an episode of House of Lies.
Because you're friends with Cheadle.
Yeah, I'm friends with Don, and we had too much wine one night and started spitballing ideas. And like that show was we couldn't believe we didn't get in more trouble for that. Like it's so, we tried to be like, create the most offensive version of me as we could. And Don's like the consultant I'm hiring to like get me out of this jam because I'm such a fucking asshole.
Yes.
And we had so much fun, but I got to be with those 4 when they worked together. It was so fun. And the generosity amongst them, watching them improvise. I didn't understand. I'd heard Don talk about it, but going down and being a part of that and watching that happen, like the script was like out the window, and it was all about them, and they knew exactly what they were doing. They were all so good, and they were all leaving so much space for each other.
Can we single out Josh Lawson?
Yeah, I love Josh.
God, what a guy.
Yeah.
Infuriatingly funny.
Yeah, but I felt like they were like a great band.
Yes. No one played the same instrument in
No,
that group.
they never stepped on each other's toes. They left room for each other, and they all knew when one person was going to solo, and they were like, but together it was like, it was just super fun to watch.
It totally was. And then Cheadle gives it this thing that no one can give it.
Yeah.
They used to call it, his fucking speeches on that show would be like flipping the
I know,
pages, like
I know.
4 pages, and they would call it getting Cheadled. Like I got Cheadled this week. I got like a 3.5 page fucking bullshit monologue that makes no sense.
That's great.
But that's kind of how Oceans felt. I know you guys weren't improvising, but it really felt so flowy and that you guys were all in your own exact space. I love that movie.
We were really relaxed because we were used to headlining movies and having all this pressure.
Yeah.
And suddenly it was like, I just come up, I'm going to breeze through this scene. I
Yeah,
have
what
one
number
line.
were you on the call sheet in that movie?
I was probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, it had been
there
a while.
was George
probably.
and Brad, Julia. I mean, I was probably 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of nice,
yeah,
right?
It was great. And no egos. Like that particular group of people, too, were like, we all realized really quickly that, like, when you got called to set, like, the goal was to get there 5 minutes early, because if you showed up on time, you were the last person, and it was a standing ovation every time, right? And you were Mr. Big Time. Oh my God, it's all gone to your head.
What a great working environment.
Sometimes like big dogs can neutralize each other in a great way.
But none of those guys are like big dog guys. They're just not. Like, I mean, I don't know how many movies I've done with George now. He's directed me a bunch, and I mean, he's just so not. And Brad couldn't be more normal. Like, I've never seen, like, you talk about the surreality of, like, fame. I've never seen anybody get it like Brad.
Oh.
Nothing fucking close. And Jerry Weintraub even said it to me. I remember we were in London, and he was like, every generation, there's one guy. he was like, I was there with Elvis. I was there with, Sinatra. He really had been with all these people, and he was like, Brad's the guy. And I've never seen somebody who less put out the vibe of wanting that than Brad.
I know.
Like, he couldn't be more.
It actually seems impossible when you meet him that it could have happened to him.
Right.
Right? In some weird way.
In some weird way, because he's just such
a dude.
A dude.
Just happens to be perfect looking, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've been very lucky in that regard. Like, I've been afforded kind of more privacy than most people get.
Yeah.
And I look at people like him, Ben to a certain degree, but nobody to the extent that Brad. I mean, I've been in Lucy and I were in a situation with Brad in 2004 in Monaco, where we had to show up for the Grand Prix. And if George and Brad and I showed up for the Grand Prix, they were going to put Ocean's 12 on the side of the Jaguar car.
Oh my God.
And it was one of these Jerry Weintraub things where apparently it costs like $1 billion to put signage on these cars because so many people are watching. Yeah. And Jerry calls him up and goes, hello, Jaguar. You're gonna put Ocean's 12 on the side of your car. And they're like, no, we're not. Like, it's $50 million or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, the guys are gonna show up because by the time I'm done with you, every photographer in Europe is gonna be in your garage. And they're like, we're not doing that. And he goes, then they're all going to be at Michael Schumacher at Ferrari. And, you can go fuck yourself. And they're like, all right. And they go, but we've already sold the signage. Where do we put it? He goes, well, you got that spot where the Jaguar is. Why don't you just that big empty space, put it there? And they go, but that's the it's an empty space with a Jaguar in it. And he goes, by the time I'm done with you, everyone's going to know it's a Jaguar. So anyway, they went for it, and they gave us this real estate for free on the side of their car. God. Wow. But we had to come in by boat and walk the track for like a quarter mile to get to this garage. And I've never, still to this day, I mean, for every premiere, Oscar, anything I've ever been to, I've never seen anything as crazy. I mean, it was like being in a tornado, and it was all around Brad. And I mean, literally, I've told this story before because like Lucy and I got armbarred like 4 times by security, and we're like, no, we're with Mr. Pitt. But Brad was walking in the middle of this, and it was the same summer that Troy came out.
Oh,
and, it was like
peak Pitt,
peak Brad, and
man.
When is it not peak?
And he's walking, and I remember he had this little Leica that he carried, and he was holding it up. And like taking pictures over his head of all the crazy people.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I was like, that dude's pulse is definitely below 50 right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Like, this is not, I was like,
it's a dangerous situation.
It's a dangerous situation. Yeah. Lucy and I weren't married then. We were just boyfriend and girlfriend. But we talked later. I was like, how fucked up was that? And I was like, did you see Brad? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, this wasn't even top 10 for that guy.
Oh. Yeah. Right. This doesn't make his memory probably on the deathbed.
He doesn't remember this. No.
I got to tell you a really 2-second funny story. So Bradley Cooper was in a movie. I want to say it was like Failure to Launch or something. He was like 6th lead of the movie. He brings his cousin from Philadelphia out to take him to the movie premiere. He kind of wants to big time it. And he gets out of the car and he gets on the red carpet and he's walking down the red carpet. And all of a sudden, everyone starts going ape shit. And
Brad.
And Cooper starts responding. He's waving. He's like pointing at people. He's like, keeps looking at his cousin like, check this shit out. The whole fucking crowd knows me. He is on top of the world. And then his cousin's like, fucking Brad Pitt's here. He turns around and they're all yelling like from a block away at Brad Pitt.
My favorite red carpet story was the one Cheadle told me like 20 years ago. I think he had done Devil in a Blue Dress. Every actor in town knew exactly who he was. They're like, this guy's amazing.
Oh, unreal, yeah.
But he got out. I think he went to the Oscars with Bridget, and he gets out, and he happens to get out. Cher is right in front of him, and then Don and Bridget, and then Jack Nicholson comes up behind him. And so he goes, this thing erupts into like, Cher, Jack, Cher, Jack. I mean, he's like, it's this cacophony, and he hears this one voice go, Don Cheadle. And he looks up like really hopefully at this person. The guy goes, get out of the way.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
The way Don tells that story, like the guy's so fucking mad at him. Like, you are fucking out of the way. Jesus.
Oh my God. That reminds me, the first time I ever did Letterman, the first guest was Tom Cruise and I was the second guest. And the fucking town car pulls up to the Ed Sullivan Theater. And as I'm about to get out, there is barricades and there's probably 1,000 people that have come to see Tom Cruise walk into the thing. So as my door opens to the SUV, the crowd just gets into a fervor. And then I step out and there was just this collective like, it's not him. Save your film. To have 1,000 people bummed out that you stepped out of a car the second before you go on Letterman for your first time. It's just like a really unique feeling that's hard to relate to people. Oh my God.
What do we think we can attribute that in Brad to? Like, how does he have that? Why? What's special?
I don't know. I mean, one thing I'll say, I think finally he's getting his due as an actor.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but for years, like, I revered that guy as an actor and nobody else did. It felt like, I don't think people understood how fucking good he was.
They overlooked his acting ability.
They overlooked his ability because he is also incredible looking. And I remember watching a movie, one of his movies, maybe Seven or something with Ben 20 years ago, going like, you can't take your eyes off him. And so there's something about him being beautiful, but interesting. Like fucking Brando was like that, man. You just couldn't take your eyes off him.
Yeah.
If he was on screen, you were looking at him.
Like some people have a quality where you can watch them walk down a street.
Right.
We've watched De Niro walk for probably 20 cumulative minutes in Scorsese movies.
Easily.
And I want 40 more.
Yeah.
Like, let me just see this guy walk down the street and process what he's seeing.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
With the Venture X business card from Capital One, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase. Plus, big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Living your best life means being extra where it counts and skipping the extra where you don't need it. Like in your cleaning products. That's where Seventh Generation comes in. Their bio-based cleaning power delivers a powerful clean with nothing extra in the bottle. Need a dish soap that cuts through the tough grease? A detergent that tackles the worst stains and odors? Seventh Generation handles it all without any dyes or artificial fragrances. Real clean doesn't have to come with a long list of add-ons. Upgrade to a powerful clean without anything extra. Look for Seventh Generation dish soap and laundry detergent wherever you shop for your cleaning products.
With the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. And you get big purchasing power, so your business can spend more and earn more.
I had one question about Oceans. What is that experience where you're coming off of all these movies and you're the lead and you're the movie star, and then you come in and Brad's going to take the role of like the playboy. He's going to take the role of the most charismatic guy in the world. And then Clooney's going to take this role too, right? And then you're going to come in and play more of a nerdy role.
Right.
Was that like a relief, or were you like, oh, it's so weird, there'll always be someone kind of ahead of me, or there'll be someone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a mildly offensive question, but
no. I never kind of fancied myself a movie star.
You didn't?
Like, no, I always felt like I was a character actor,
but you're so
I
good looking too. You're too good looking for a character.
But I'd been in the real world long enough to know that, like, look, there's a difference.
I don't know. I have the image of you getting in the fight on the playground and Will Hunting. First of all, you look great. You look like you've been in fights. I don't know if you have, but you did it.
Basketball court.
You did it. The basketball court.
Yeah.
What did I say? Field?
Playground, which is crazy.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
it's inner city basketball court. It's kind of the playground.
Real-time
Anyways,
action.
let's not get hung up on that. Totally look real. You look like a dude who can fucking throw right, and you're gorgeous. But there's always a Brad Pitt.
There is, yeah. And the quicker you accept that,
the happier
you'll be. I'd seen actors and been in close quarters with actors who wanted to be the thing that they weren't.
Yeah.
And that's painful.
Yeah. All right. One of our favorite movies of yours, which I don't know that was many people's favorites, The Informant.
Yeah.
You are incredible in The Informant. That is one of my favorite comedies ever made.
Thanks, man. I'm really proud of it. And it's actually, Steven said that it's one of two movies, Out of Sight being the other, that he wouldn't change a frame of.
Oh, that's awesome.
That he's done.
It is so good. The way you string out that runner of how much money he stole, I can't believe what a funny joke that is. And your delivery, like, I need people to understand comedically what you're doing there, because you're so sincere every time. Right. Every time you tell it, I think that, well, that's the last time I'm going to hear that number. That was the actual number that he stole. Right. And it keeps getting more and more.
Guys.
That's one of my all-time favorite jokes in a movie. I mean, it just kept every fucking 12 minutes we found out another number. It just wouldn't stop.
The unreliable narrators are really fun.
Oh, my God.
But it was also, like, Scott Burns wrote it. Awesome, like, amazing screenwriter. And then Steven just really was dialed in. Like, one of my favorite stories on that movie was there was a day that we shot in the courthouse where he actually stood up and made a speech to the community before his sentencing. And we shot what he said. And the first thing we did was kind of a wide of me standing up. And it was all the actors were sitting in the gallery. Like, I had to apologize to the town, as Mark Whitaker did. And I said it and I got choked up. I didn't mean to, but it just happened. And Steven said, cut. And he kind of walked over and I sat down at my defense table and he kind of came and sat on the table and kind of took his glass up and goes, no. And I was like, what? I was like, fuck you, no. I was like, that shit
real.
Was real, man.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? No. And he was like, no, the scene in a vacuum, the scene's fine. He goes, you're just in the wrong movie. And I go, okay.
That's a hard note to give and hear.
And I said, put me in the right movie. And he sat there and he thought about it for about 10 seconds. And then he nods and he goes, do it as if it's an awards acceptance speech.
Oh, baby. What a great fucking...
And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. This is his big moment.
Yes.
Like, fuck,
he's Will Hunting. He's waiting for America to recognize
right.
Yes.
So it's that whole scene where I'm like, wow. You know, like looking at everybody,
so
and it's
proud.
like everybody's here to see this. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that's great directing, right? That's really great directing, right? That's really understanding the story you're telling. Because as well as I knew that story, as well as I knew that character, I fucked it up. I showed up with the wrong angle of attack on the scene. I did it as best I could. It was good. Another director would have been like, ooh, I should just keep that.
Yep.
Right.
But by the way, within this lies the ever-present conflict between an actor and a director, which is the director is looking at the global thing, and the actor is looking at the moment. So the moment may be totally truthful to the actor, but it might not be the right piece of the global story that's being told.
That's
That's a hard thing for actors to stomach.
It can be, especially when they have a kind of a virtuosic moment and they go, but that was so...
And they don't have Soderbergh saying...
Right.
Like, I don't know if you heard this story. I found this to be one of the most fascinating things I ever saw. It was an interview during There Will Be Blood press between Paul and Daniel Day-Lewis, and it's on Charlie Rose. I know we're not allowed to say his name anymore, but alas, that's where the interview was. And Charlie says, I heard a story that you guys threw out the first week of filming. Is that true? Mm-hmm. And you can see both of them don't want to talk about this because they're who they are.
Yeah.
And they don't want to bastardize the process by sharing it. But they do tell the story that they shot the movie for an entire week. Paul said to Daniel Day-Lewis, I'd like you to come watch dailies. And Daniel Day-Lewis said, I don't watch dailies. And Paul said, I know you don't, but I'm asking you to. He shows him the full first week of dailies. And then he turns to him and he says, I don't think your character works.
Wow.
And I think, where does someone get the confidence to tell Daniel Day-Lewis that his interpretation's wrong? Because for us, if anyone would know, it would be Daniel Day-Lewis.
Except it would be also be Paul Thomas.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah. Look, it goes back. It's a director's medium.
But can you imagine
I never heard
telling
that story.
Daniel
That's amazing.
Day-Lewis, like, hey,
Yes.
and you sit through a whole week?
Yes, I
you
can.
go, oh
I
my
can,
God.
because that's what you have to do. Ben was editing one of his movies, and he showed it to Terrence Malick. And Terry said, I'm going to talk to you as if it's surgeon to surgeon, and there's a body on the table right now.
Nice.
And that's the way you have to think of it.
This is not personal.
It's about what we're doing. And when the hood is up on the car and we're fixing it, then it's all fair game. Nothing's
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
If you invite me to your premiere, I'm going to hug you and tell you it was the fucking best thing I've ever seen. You
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it again. You know? God damn. But if you invite me to see a rough cut, you're like, hey man, I'm snowblind right now. I need help. I need another set of eyes on this. Then that's what you need. And that's the respect for what we do.
I have this conversation with people who ask me to read their script. And I say, before I read it, I need to know, do you want me to pat you on the back at the end for accomplishing this? Because it is a huge accomplishment.
Right.
Or do you want me to help you make it better? I just need to know before I tell you.
Yeah.
And that kind of backdoors them into having to say, no, I want notes. They
Right.
don't. They just want to hear great job.
We never want notes.
Well,
No,
who wants
no,
notes?
we're
Yeah.
allergic to notes.
No. To be fair, I get you did it again.
Yes.
But with my group of friends, it's never that easy.
Was there ever a time when being connected to Ben felt annoying? I'm sure at this point you don't feel that, probably, because you guys have had such a long
I agree. He
history.
keeps bringing him up, and I think for me, this could have been a stumbling block over the years. Like, I want my own thing.
I mean, it's been 40 years. I mean, there was a time when I felt such righteous anger around the way he was treated in the press.
Yeah.
The way he and Jennifer Lopez were treated in the press 20 years ago or
Yeah.
18 years ago, whenever that was. I couldn't believe how different the perception was versus who he actually was.
Right.
And just the kind of casual way which people kind of dissed him and her.
Yeah.
It was just really ugly and really unfair. Like, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. I think it would be a good question for him if he came and talked to you guys. Like, did he feel the need to go, like, be a director on it, like win Best Picture, do all this stuff that was totally disconnected from me,
Right.
to just go like, by the way, this is who I am. Kiss my ass.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just by the nature of the job, like, we only can work together so often, but so I never felt like I was over connected to him. But I certainly felt like, going back to your point about Good Will Hunting, that too much of the success of that was attributed to me. I mean, if ever there was a 50-50 job, like writing with him, people would always ask, who wrote what? Like, you know, and it's
Who
like,
typed?
Yeah, it's like that's the dumbest question.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who typed?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
everyone in America can type.
Yeah,
so I doubt
exactly.
that's
That's not the thing that.
the key ingredient to this.
But the way every line of dialogue, like, having just gone through it again with him, it's like one of us says something, the other iterates.
Wait,
on
you guys
that,
just
the
wrote
other-
another movie together?
This movie, The Last Duel, that's going to come out in October. Yeah.
We don't even know about that. We're
Oh, right.
here to talk about
Stillwater. But
another movie.
wow.
But wow, you guys wrote and
We
then
wrote with Nicole Holofcener. It's a movie about the last sanctioned duel in medieval France. It was a history book we read. It's about these two knights, one of whom claimed the other raped his wife. And so they fight a duel to the death over this. And so we saw it as this story of perspective. So Ben and I wrote the male perspectives, and Nicole wrote the female perspective.
oh
God,
yeah.
how cool.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's going to be really good.
Who
And
directed it?
Ridley Scott.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
It's
Wow.
really, it's good. The trailer just came out yesterday.
Oh my god, I gotta see it. Okay, well, I watched Stillwater last night. I gotta say, I'm so glad I got to see that right before I talked to you, because you're completely, I have not seen this version of you as Bill. Where I'm from, it's so spot on. And it's the tiniest things that are spot on. The fact that you wear your fucking sunglasses on top of your hat is just such a wonderful, specific thing. I don't know if you're behind that or someone suggested that, but that is such a key ingredient.
Yeah.
I hang with mostly dudes who put their sunglasses on their hat.
Yeah.
I'm into off-roading and I'm into all these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And it's so specific. And then I don't know, it must have been in the script, but the frequency with which you say dumbass in the delivery of dumbass, it's just a bullseye. It's the arrow going through the arrow that's already in the bullseye. It's so fucking every dude that I grew up around.
Oh, cool.
You're so fucking good in it. It's crazy.
Thanks, man. It's one of my favorite things I've done.
Can I suggest or ponder that it's probably also one of the harder things you've done? Because I find it to be hardest when you do the least and to have the confidence that the doing the nothing is something huge.
Yeah. I always believed in that, and I think I believe in it more now. There's more, at least, certainly with this role, there's a lot underneath the nothing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that was always the kind of acting that I responded to, when you could look at somebody who looked like they were doing nothing and it was pretty fucking far from nothing.
Yeah.
Paul Newman playing the fucking pinball machine at the beginning of Verdict.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite openings of a
Like,
movie.
how could you play pinball?
Well,
Tell me as much as you...
Like Lumet's shot, like that whole thing, that tells you everything you need to know about that guy. Like,
But it's a
just
special
one dolly
actor
shot. Yeah.
that can play pinball and let you know exactly who he is, and then go drink
takes a sip of beer
with an
puts
egg in
down.
it, right?
Yeah. I know.
So
I
fucking
know.
tasty. The accent, had you done a Southern accent before?
Yeah, I mean, I've done them for different movies. I lived down in Texas a lot in my 20s just because I ended up working down there.
In Austin?
I worked in Austin. I worked in El Paso. I worked in Del Rio. I worked in Alpine.
There's a very specific Texas accent.
Well, it changes throughout the state. I mean, West Texas can get pretty severe. Like down in Oklahoma where I went, these guys, I mean, everything came from like that roughneck community. Like that's a thing that I didn't realize the specificity of that.
Yeah, it's a huge industry that no one really is aware of.
Yeah.
Do you know what a roughneck is, Monica? It's someone that drills on an oil, right? Yeah,
Like
they're like
Armageddon.
putting the pipe.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
you're just biting.
He was
he's a roughneck.
an oil guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But these guys, like, it's a really, really, really hard job. Like physically
And
hard
super
job.
dangerous.
And very dangerous. And these guys are really proud because if you can do it, you can do it. And if you can't, like, I got up on the rig and I was like, no fucking way. And so this guy is a roughneck. And so that meant going down there and talking to those guys. And Tom had been down there quite a bit, the director and writer. And then I went down for a few days with him and rode around with those guys, went to the oil rigs. I mean, they were great. They gave us a lot of access, like hung out with their families, barbecue in the backyard, long drives in the car, all the detail, like the physicality of it. So when I was like, all right, my body needs to look this way. Like,
Well, your deltoids looked awesome. You have a couple sleeveless scenes, and I was like, fucking deltoids still on point.
yeah, well, those guys are strong, but they're like beefy. They're like,
They're strong. They're not
Right.
built. They're strong.
they're
real strong.
They're real strong.
Yeah. Cowboy strong.
Country strong.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's a synopsis? Or
Okay, so his daughter has been incarcerated in France for a murder. It kind of reminded me of the Amanda Knox story.
Yeah, I
a
think
little
that was
bit.
their inspiration for the idea. It's kind of like what Tom was interested in is what happened after all the cameras went away? Like what happens to that family?
Yeah.
And what if the father was a roughneck from Oklahoma and his daughter's in jail in Marseille? And what happens with a lot of these roughnecks is you go to the oil fields right out of high school. If you don't go to college, you go to the oil fields. And when the fields are up, these guys end up with a lot of cash in their pockets. And they're 18, 19 years old. And a lot of them go down this path of addiction.
Yeah. You almost kill yourself working, then you almost kill yourself partying.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you
Yeah.
go back to work.
There's a weird redemptive quality. So like people who live in like penance, it's a weird way to like live like an animal. Because I did this. I was a roofer and an alcoholic. And I felt like my penance was getting up at 5 and doing that thing. So that I can continue to fucking be a werewolf at night.
Right. That's interesting. So the idea is that this guy was an absentee father, like had this baby, just wasn't around. So he's, at the beginning of the movie, his daughter's already been in prison for 4 years, and he's carrying a lot of grief and pain and shame and regret around the ways in which he failed his kid. And so that guy goes to visit his daughter, and she says, I have this new piece of information about the real killer. And so this guy who has no skills, but really wants to help. He doesn't speak the language. He doesn't understand the culture. Like, he doesn't really know what's going on around him for most of the time.
Can I just add this? So what's really fun about this movie is it's nearly the opposite of The Martian, in that your character in The Martian was very flexible, a great improviser, took on new information, adapted. This guy goes to France. He doesn't learn one thing of French. He walks into places just speaking English before he asks if anyone understands what he says.
He eats at Subway.
He's the opposite, literally the opposite of the Martian character. Like,
Yeah.
he is not evolving at all. He's just plotting.
And yet, by the end of the movie, he's gone on this like incredible journey.
Yeah.
And he's a very different person than he was at the beginning of the movie, but in a very real way.
The whole time, I'm trying to put your character, Bill, into a category in my head. And it's almost driving me crazy because I'm looking at him and he looks like my stereotype of a far right winger.
Yeah.
And even in the movie, your French female counterpart, they get drunk and even ask you at one point, did you vote for Trump? And then in my mind as a viewer, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get the answer that I've been looking for. And then you go, oh, I couldn't vote because I'm a felon. And then that topic's over. And then you leave that scene and I'm like, they still didn't give it to me. And I like that.
My reading of that was like he says no, and they're kind of relieved. And he's like, well, I couldn't vote. Like, in other words, like what's implicit in that is, of course, I would have voted for him. I talked to those guys, you're talking about politics. They're like, hey, they're in Oklahoma, which is the reddest state in the union, and they work in the oil fields.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're voting red down the ticket no matter what, and completely unapologetically. And like the guys that I talk to view it as a kind of a binary proposition. It's like, well, my kids are going to eat. That's my job, and I need somebody to protect my job. And that's how they look at it.
When you talk to those people for character work, do you feel the need to like say, but what about kids in cages? I mean, do you just feel like, oh shit, I can't really input my own feelings on this?
Well, what I'm there to do is to try to understand why the character does what he does, right? But I think they were wary. They were like, what are you guys doing here? Like, you're making a movie about roughnecks. Come on, what are you doing?
What's the real liberal subtext of this,
that's
I'd
right.
imagine?
How are you going to fucking throw us under the bus with this thing?
Yeah.
And I think once they realized that, I think Tom let them see the script, and they were like, oh, like this script has got a lot of compassion and a lot of empathy for this guy. And so do we, for that matter. And so we were just trying to get it right. But look, there were a lot of those jokes. Like, this dude came up when we were sitting there, and this guy drove up, and his name was Big John. His work was related to the Roughnecks because he would bring out equipment to the rig when it went down. So he was an important part of making this whole system work. And Kenny Baker, the guy who took us around, we named Bill Baker as a nod to Kenny because Kenny was so great. And Kenny said, oh, you got to meet this guy. And he said, Big John, come here. He goes, this here's Matt Damon. He's making a movie about the oil business. And and this guy walks over, and Big John, like, all these guys are big.
Sure.
Big John's bigger. And he walks over, and he shakes my hand, and he goes, I hope I like it more than the last movie you did about the oil business. Because
Syriana.
After Syriana, John Krasinski and I wrote Promised Land about fracking and natural gas. We started laughing, but it was...
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I was like, yeah, I think you're going to like this one more, man. But they were wary. It was like, what are your intentions?
Yeah. Well, by the way, very earned to be skeptical.
Totally.
And this is what I actually really, really liked about the movie is that I'm always on my soapbox about, like, so we as a family go to the sand dunes quite often. Everyone there is on the right. Every flag on the dune buggy is a Trump flag. And what I love about it is you end up gathering around like the swing set where everyone dunes to. And everyone's there with their kids. Everyone went through like a ton of discomfort and inconvenience to get there, to give their kids this experience. Right. And my wife and I'll be sitting there, and I just love that. I love something that breaks through this us and them thing. And what I liked about the movie so much is like, I'm trying to figure out who you are in that sense, in this stupid binary sense. But far more important, I have a daughter. And I'm like, fuck, I hope I would be the man this man's proving to be in this situation.
Yeah.
And that is so much more valuable and important than the other reasons I might look at your character.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's how I felt like going into this guy Kenny's home and like seeing his beautiful family and seeing like what a great guy he is, like the real deal. And the exact same value system that I have about some of the most important things. Yeah, I always leave those trips feeling like we're a lot closer than we're made out to be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Tom was saying, I always leave those pissed off at politicians like for stoking those divisions.
Yeah.
Because it works for them.
The movie also reminded me of one of my favorite movies, In the Valley of Ella. Did you see that movie?
I didn't.
Tommy Lee Jones was on a very similar ride that your character was on, and just his subtlety and his silence and all those things that you brought to this were very similar.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. He cast me in 1994 in the first thing he ever directed was a TV movie called The Good Old Boys. And he cast me, I was 22, I think, 23. That was my first time working with him, and it was amazing. And then he was in the last Bourne movie that we did 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. My favorite story about Tommy Lee, can I tell you this?
Oh, please.
Ben did a movie with him. It was a good movie. John Wells directed it. as Ben said, it was kind of a two-hander, except Tommy Lee had this one speech that really kind of made it Tommy Lee's movie. But he's one of our favorite actors. Ben was excited to work. Company Men was the name of the movie.
Oh, right.
And Ben's like, so we're shooting this scene. It's like a steady cam shot. It's a walk and talk, and they're over me onto Tommy Lee. And it's like a 2-page monologue. And so he goes, the first one, Tommy Lee kind of stumbles through, we're finding the blocking, we're finding out. Second one, he stumbles on a few lines, but it's starting to take shape. He goes, the third take, he goes, he was a third of the way through this thing. And suddenly I was a director and completely out of the scene, just rooting for him. And now I'm thinking, oh, wait, we don't even need a reverse. We can play this whole thing on him.
This fucking thing plays in one.
Yeah, this thing plays in one. Like, this is unbelievable. And now he's halfway through and he's like, fucking go, TL, you got this. And he's like, and so finally he makes it all the way to the end. And Ben goes, I'm like, my jaw's on the floor. And John Wells says, cut. And I take a second to catch my breath because I'm about to say to him, Tommy Lee, that's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. He goes, before I can say that, Tommy Lee strides away from me, walks right up to the director, puts his hand out, shakes the director's hand and goes, I think you're going to like your movie.
I think you're going to like your movie.
Oh,
my
he
God,
just
that's
went home.
great.
It was like later, like total mic drop.
Oh my
That's
God.
great.
Okay.
You've done SNL a bunch, right?
Just a couple times. Yeah, I've hosted it twice.
Your monologue about your dad was very sweet
Oh,
and
thanks.
lovely.
Yeah, it just happened to be like the anniversary of his death, right? Like one day after, I guess.
Yeah.
What did he die of?
Cancer, multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer.
But it's not leukemia.
It's a kind of a cousin to leukemia.
You get too many white blood cells and it
Yeah,
takes
it
over.
just goes through your bone marrow, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's they've got some things that do a good job, and there's new CAR T cell therapies that are kind of coming online that could be really great.
How long was that process?
8.5 years.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, so for the first probably 7 years, I want to say, there were certain things, Velcade, Revlimid, there were things that worked really well for him. Where so he'd get it like an infusion every 2 weeks, and he'd have kind of one sleepless night, and then he was great.
Wow.
And so that was really great. He had wonderful care, like a Mass General in Boston.
So my dad called me August 5th. I went and looked at this thing on my neck. I have lung cancer. And then December 31st, he died. So 4 months.
Wow.
And in that 4-month window, I was back in Michigan every other week and taking him to chemo and all those things. The thing I found hard to manage that I immediately think of when thinking of an 8.5-year process is trying to adjust your expectations all the time. Like I was like, oh, he's going downhill. Like, okay, this is the final turn. And then this weird rebound for 2 weeks where it's he's eating. Yeah, you hear he's like, he ate a steak last night. And you're like, oh, we're back. So I got to shift my mind now to like, what, we're going to beat this? Like that whole seesaw of what am I preparing for? I found to be really challenging.
Me too. Yeah. The last year of his life was tough. So we moved back to Boston and he was in the hospital every day getting treatments. And some nights he'd have to stay and some nights he'd come home. And it was a really long, drawn out process, but we had hope for kind of 9 months of that year. And then we got him, qualified him for this thing, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
That was the weird one, was the kind of existentially cruel one, was you're going to die. He was 109 pounds, which was like, he was 109 pounds the last 6 months of his life. And we realized it was because that was the weight of his skin and his bones and his organs. Yeah. There was nothing else to lose.
Wow.
And he was so weak that the only part of him that worked was his brain was fucking perfect.
No.
Really?
It was like he was excruciatingly aware of everything that was happening. And that there was no hope. And he was a very optimistic guy. And I remember him saying at one point, like, it's so strange to have nothing to hope for.
Yeah.
The last 3 months are just waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for this inevitable thing, and there's nothing else to do in your life. You don't have the strength to leave the bed,
right?
So you can't go anywhere, even in a wheelchair. I mean, he was so compromised, you couldn't even take him somewhere.
Yeah.
Say, do you want to see this? Like, it was like you couldn't write that. It was weird. It was so cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank God my dad had a fentanyl patch, which was a 72-hour time release thing.
Those are nice.
Well, I mean, an opioid, when you actually are in pain, actually goes right to the pain. It doesn't,
Yeah. That's what it's for.
That's actually what it's for.
Yeah.
He was totally lucid. Like, you would forget that he...
Yeah.
But if I tried to put that fucking thing on, I'd
Yeah,
be
you'd
like,
be nodding out.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But it just literally short-circuited his pain. He forgot how much pain he was supposed to be in because the cancer had eaten through his bones, right? So if he moved, he was going to
He could break
snap.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you read Grant by chance?
No.
Ulysses S. Grant biography. You know, he died of throat cancer in the 1800s.
Right.
And when you come to terms with what it used to be like to die of cancer versus like what my dad went through, your dad, my stepdad, it used to be horrific.
Right. Yes.
I mean, like him coughing up chunks of his body and stuff, you know, like can't drink water, no opiates.
No, that's right. That's right. Though, like, you know, my dad had pneumonia. He must have had pneumonia 12 times in the last few years of his life. And they used to refer to that as the Great Mercy.
Right, because that would take you out.
So the last year that he had, which was not a year that I would wish on anybody, he wouldn't have needed all those opiates.
Yes. I have a weird smidgen of gratitude that he didn't die of a heart attack because he had heart disease, my dad. That could have happened. As evil as cancer is, there is something I think amazing about the knowledge that like, hey, anything you got to clean up, now's the time. I ended up really appreciating that window where I got to make peace with a lot of stuff. Then I think a lot of sons don't get to do if their dad just drops dead of a heart attack.
Funnily enough, my dad was somebody with whom I always was fully at peace.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And so that year was precious in the sense that we had a lot of time together.
Yeah.
But I didn't need it for that reason.
Right.
I'm lucky to be able to say that. And I hope that I'm that kind of dad to my kids. Like there were so many lessons in how he was with us. But a lot of the time it was just sitting around hanging out and shooting the shit with them.
Yeah.
But, you know,
what TV did you guys watch together?
Well, it was 2017, so it was always politics. And you go, Jesus, Matthew, I just want to make it. I just wish I could make it to see this son of a bitch get his comeuppance. Because this guy represents everything that's wrong with this country. He goes, he's the flip side to the coin. He's selfish. He's out for himself. He's greedy. He's an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. You know, you just go on.
My dad, we had a moment where we were watching his shows because that's what we did when I would visit him. And he was super into this show that was either on like Showtime or Epix or whatever. And it was a Game of Thrones-esque show, but it wasn't on HBO, right? And he's like, oh, you're not watching whatever the hell the name of the show was. So we're watching it together. He puts it on. And there's a scene where this princess wants to choose a lover, and they line up like 20 men. And then, by God, Matt, there is a tracking shot that is just on the penises. I'm not kidding you. So we're starting on one penis, and it's a slow dolly. So I'm seeing like, oh, there's testicles. I mean, you see everything. Then onto the next equipment. And about 5 people in, my dad goes, wait till you see this guy's dick. And I'm like, okay, so you've already seen this episode. This is like a 90-second tracking shot of guys' dicks, and you're starting to get excited because a huge one's coming our way. And I was like, what are you watching?
That's amazing.
Oh, it was incredible. And sure enough, they got to that one guy, and he had a big old hog, and the princess was happy, and my dad was delighted.
Fantastic.
He knows his son. You liked it.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. The apple did not fall from...
What was the name of the show?
Oh my God, I'm going to have to look it up for the fact checks for anyone who wants to see a long tracking shot of like 12 penises. All of them great, but one definitely outshining the rest. Well, Matt, you're fucking awesome. The only last thing I want to say, well, everyone should be watching your new movie, Stillwater, which is incredible. And that comes out...
I think July 30th. Yeah.
And then now, not to trump that, but now we're so excited to find out that you wrote a movie with Ben, and then that one's called
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel, which comes out in October.
Yeah, mid-October.
We're not going to get boring with like the state of movies and all that kind of stuff. We're going to skip that. The only thing that I have to cover still is, because you're not an armchair, there's like 2 million listeners that are so wrapped up in Monica and I's lives, and we're so grateful for it. I can't put too fine a point on how much of Monica's life has revolved around you and Ben. I mean, I know you have mega fans. I know you have mega fans, but I don't think you can understand the place you occupied in Monica's life.
That's
Changed
awesome.
my life.
But
Really.
if it's a positive change, that's the best thing I can hear.
Of course. Yeah. It brought me out here. It changed my life, really.
That's awesome.
One of the cuter stories I've heard about you guys is that she would go camping when she was like 12 with her friend. And she'd be really
older
convinced.
than that,
how old were you?
unfortunately. Probably like 15.
15.
Yeah.
And she'd really convince herself they might be camping here.
I would think that when I was anywhere, it was like such a fantasy that like I might be in the movie theater, maybe, and then I'd like look back and maybe you guys were in the movie theater somehow. That's why this is extremely full circle for me to be sitting across from you, having spent so much time in my life putting energy into coming across you. So thank you for being here.
You're very, very, very welcome. But I can't. I'm just trying to imagine the scenario in which, like,
You guys are
Ben
camping?
and I come out stretching in the morning out of our 2-person tent
Who's cooking coffee on the fire?
In Helen, Georgia.
in Helen, Georgia.
Yeah. Well, you know,
so-
anything's possible.
Hey, do you guys have any more bacon?
Hey, young gal.
Hey.
Hey, you're cute.
So I guess all I'm leaning towards is I don't feel nervous about asking this, but if you were not married and you were 33, you would walk right out the door with
Of
her, wouldn't you?
course,
I mean,
absolutely.
and never look back, right?
Absolutely.
Don't make him
Yeah.
say
No,
that.
I know it's sincere. There's no way he wouldn't walk right out this door and then get camping.
Oh,
That's right.
off to the tent.
It helps to be married to somebody who likes you
Yeah,
Yes,
as
yes,
well
yes.
as loves you.
that's right.
Although
Yeah.
for me that wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work.
I'm an endless approval junkie, so if you give it all to me, I'm bored. I'm
Oh,
out there.
really?
So my wife is a genius at like laughing at my jokes every like 20th joke.
wow.
It's a science, and I
Yeah,
applaud
yeah,
her for
yeah.
it because it's not a given.
She's just on another level.
Is yours a given? Like, do you think your wife's going to approve of what you think and do?
Fuck no.
Right?
No,
It's
no.
required, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's required. I mean, it's just the way my life is.
Yeah.
I don't mind approval either.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm thinking of you at 15. I'm like, because I have a 15-year-old daughter, and and now we're not allowed to say Olivia Wilde's name in our house because she's with Harry Styles.
Oh, and that's
My-
Mortal enemy now.
And I'm not even like, she's a great director, and my daughter, stop this. Don't
I don't want to hear
say
about
her
it.
name. Don't you say her name in my house.
gosh.
She is a great director. That movie was fantastic.
Fantastic. I loved it.
And that was her first movie for her,
I
right?
know. That's a hell of a first movie. She's great, but I literally can't say that I'd love to be in her next movie because my daughter.
Yeah, your daughter would
Don't
do
say
so
that.
good.
Don't allow it.
Well, maybe you could go in as an operative to break them up.
Right.
He could come on set.
Right.
You know, she'll come visit on
Yeah.
set.
You're gonna have to talk to mom because it might involve you having to woo her away.
I don't
so
think-
mom might have to give you a pass just to solve this.
I don't think I have those skills.
Oh,
that's
you
not
underestimate
true.
yourself. Who was your girl?
Who was my girl?
Who was your Matt Damon?
Oh, well, let me think. Back in the day,
Yeah, like 12 to 15. Who were you like? Oh my god, if I could,
I'm trying to remember.
if I
'cause
could
the
just get 10
70s
minutes
was-
with her, I could seal it.
She would know.
She would see
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
special I
Yeah,
am.
Well, the 70s was Linda Carter and Charlie's Angels. But God, when I was a teenager, who was it when I was a teenager?
You're 5
Oh,
years
like
older.
Lisa Bonet.
That's Dax's.
Really?
Yes, that's crazy.
Lisa Bonet on the Cosby Show was just,
How about Angel Heart?
fuck it, stop it. Like I couldn't go from that to Angel Heart. I was just like,
I
I
was-
just was like,
That
it was
was-
too much. It was too much. I was just like, oh
I
my
had this
God.
mix of like, I love her so much. I'm now intimidated. I could never please her.
Yeah.
Look at this creature. I would never.
I wouldn't stand a chance.
I just was overwhelmed with like fear and lust and
Yeah,
love all at
yeah.
the same time. Like if I had my shot, I would blow it.
if I had my shot, I would totally ruin it.
Well, I'm delighted to find out
Yeah.
this Lisa
You
Bonet
guys
thing. And of
saw
course,
him.
we both love Monica too. So there's two.
Look at that.
Yeah. It
There
was
we
so
go.
much fun. I really am flattered you drove all the way out here. I know it's a pain in the ass. So
Total
thanks
pleasure.
for coming
And
in
today
person.
they actually drove me. I don't think they trusted me to get here for some reason.
They shouldn't.
So they
It's-
got me a car. I was like, I have a car.
Yeah, you know I live here, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I can totally make it to Los Feliz.
No, sometimes it can't be done.
Right. No,
It's-
apparently
yeah.
they think it can't
Yeah.
be done. So
Prince Harry drove from Santa Barbara.
there you go.
And I was like, we don't deserve this.
Yeah, but he was like in Afghanistan. You know what I mean?
Flying a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Black
Yeah,
Hawk.
he's-
You're right. He's like, I can come down 90
Yeah,
miles.
I'm an actor.
yeah. Well, Matt, such a pleasure. Thanks
Thank
so much
you,
for doing
guys.
the show. And I want everybody to see Stillwater in theaters July 30th. I saw it. It's fucking awesome. He's incredible. As always, it's annoying. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
This is the fact check of my life.
Now, expectations versus experience. Let's rate that.
I did a weird thing where obviously my expectations were at 100, but then I brought them down because I knew
no one can meet that's silly, that I can't go in feeling that way about him.
He's not Will Hunting, you remind yourself.
Well, it's just not fair to him. And we've had that on here so often where we have people on and we have very high expectations and they're amazing, wonderful people, but they can't meet the standard that we put them at. So I lowered them extremely. And I was like, this is probably like not going to be that interesting. And then he was perfect.
Yeah.
Then he was absolutely everything.
Sigh of relief.
I wanted him to be.
Well, now people will be able to see the pictures of you hugging him. It's like seeing a picture of a unicorn being ridden by a leprechaun. Like, there's looks on your faces in those photos that I've just never seen, and I've known you for 7 years. Like, there's one in particular I want people to hone in on. It's you've got your mouth closed. It's just
You mean eyes? My eyes are
your
closed.
eyes. Sorry,
Yeah.
You've got your eyes closed. He's just kissed you tenderly on top of the head, and the look on your face is like maybe when people come out of the river, they've been born again. Like they get dunked, and then they come up, and then they feel the connection with the Lord in a way that I don't know.
That's how I felt.
Transcendent.
I really felt born again.
Yeah.
I felt, well, and here's a little BTS. I was coming out of a very dark week.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Yeah.
And I was very upset going in. 'Cause I was
Earlier
like,
that day.
Yes. And I was like, this sucks. This sucks that this is happening on this day. Physically and mentally, no matter what I do, I will not be able to enjoy this the way I want.
And be present.
The way I want. And he defied. Well, first of all, I'll give you credit here. You pulled me aside before the interview and you said, don't let anything that's going on affect this because this is too special and exciting.
I think I said, like, think of this as mushrooms.
Yeah.
You're in charge right now to have an experience.
Yeah.
But hard as fuck.
Very. And I truly did not think it was possible when even knowing I was trying to do that.
Yeah, you can't shake. Sometimes when you're like, I know better than anyone. Like when I'm in a anger spiral or a sad spiral, like it just doesn't matter what I'm witnessing. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It was super impressive he turned it around. And a lot of it's him.
It is him. He has changed my mood and life
Again.
so many times in my life, and he did it again.
Yeah.
And I could not, that was the look. It's just like, this person
is magic to you.
To me.
The thing you said that I loved was the look on your face post-hug was like, oh my God, he actually is the person I wanted him to be, in that he recognizes I love him and he's going to take the time and give me what I want. He's going to be generous because he's a good person.
Yeah. In that moment, he was giving me a gift that he knew I wanted. It wasn't for him to kiss me on the head.
I would argue differently, but yeah.
Right, but you're wrong. He did that for me because he knew, and he was sitting across from me and we were talking about it. And I felt this in the moment, but also editing back. He was just so kind with his spirit towards me. Like anytime I said anything, he would really like listen and really respond. And even if I just like said something,
he'd see
like
you every time.
He would acknowledge it and not patronizing at all. It was just a kindness of heart.
I think he is that type of person. He wants you to feel seen and heard. And
yeah, it was really special. But also the look is obviously about him, but it really is not. It's about me. It was about the fact that was happening.
Yeah.
That I could not believe that the person that I wished was camping.
Yes.
And I put so much energy into that moment that it happened.
Can I say that was my favorite moment of the interview, was the camping example, because that really got him. He started laughing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you thought I was...
Like, that's crazy.
So, and what I liked about it was, so this wasn't about me at all. This was in service of you. But also, here's the tightrope I thought I was walking, which is he doesn't listen to the show. So I got to bring him up to speed on the impact you've made on his life, which is hard to do. And naturally, he's a movie star, so a lot of people are in love with him. So there's nothing really new about hearing that someone's in love with him.
Yes.
And so as a guest, I want to leave it at that. But I owe the armchairies know what this moment's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to kind of keep touching down on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to overwhelm him with it. Like he is doing a, what are those charity things we do where you hang out with someone who wins the...
Make-A-Wish.
No. That's much sadder. Amaze.
Oh.
So when we brought up camping and it really got him, I was like, here we go. Now we're somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new element. He's never heard that the people that were in love with him thought he might be camping in Georgia. And I was like, okay, here we go. This is good.
It's really hard in these circumstances. A little bit with Amy, too.
Polar.
Again, there is just no other person besides Ben on planet Earth, or maybe if the entire cast of Friends was sitting here together.
Right.
That could have that kind of effect on me.
Yeah. Other than Amy.
No, and Amy was, but it was still different because Ben and Matt, they represented something.
Mm-hmm.
They represented this like future happiness.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Poehler was just an idol.
Yes.
It's a different thing, and it sounds maybe the same. It's very hard to articulate, which is why knowing this was going to happen, it's like, there's just no way to articulate the feeling that he's given me so many times. Truly, this escape.
I think it's how you regulated. So like I regulated through sex and I regulated through adrenaline seeking and drugs.
Yeah.
But I think when you had moments of like, I don't belong here, I'm out of sorts.
Yeah.
You went to that fantasy and it was very comforting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you meeting cocaine for the first time for me.
Yeah, maybe. I think all these things that I felt I didn't have that I wanted, approval, basically from boys, not men. Well, and men, like my friend's dad.
That's right. That's nice you call him your friend.
My enemy's dad.
Yes. Your subjects.
My bully.
Your subjects.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that in this episode.
All right.
So especially the boy thing. It was not happening in real life, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter about the Dairy Queen boy because I was going to meet Matt Damon.
That's who you wanted to be with. So
he was going to
everyone was short of that, so it didn't matter. It was a way to make it not matter.
Yeah, it was very profound. One of my favorite parts of the interview was that you guys both were in love with Lisa Bonet.
That was a highlight for me.
I
Big
loved
time.
that.
And then he was like talking about how hot she was on the Cosby Show, and I was like, "What about Angel Heart?" And we both had the same thing, which
erupted.
is like, and we were like intimidating, like fear, like that's the human experience. It's like total in love, and then coupled with fear that I couldn't please this goddess.
Of course.
Oh man, it's amazing we can even get out of bread and brush our brief in the morning.
I know.
Other favorite part for me was how much he kept sticking up for his bro. I loved that. He was mad people thought that he didn't write it. Like me, I'd be like, I'm so mad everyone's giving me the credit. I would love it personally. They think I'm the genie. I'm a piece of shit.
That's not true. That's not true. You've done that with this show with me plenty of times.
Okay. Well, anyways, I really loved how he was still pissed that Ben got the rough treatment during the J-Lo thing.
I know.
So I was on Instagram last night. For some reason, in my little suggestions thing was a picture of your boyfriend and Jennifer Lopez.
That's right.
On a boat. It was her birthday, her 51st or second
it broke
birthday.
The internet. Mm-hmm. Of course, I was sad when I saw that picture.
Okay. Even though you just connected with Matt?
Well, that's even more why. Because I was like, oh my God.
The single one I would connect with as well.
The single one maybe I would connect with in the same way, and he's single.
You're still doing the campground thing, which I love.
I'll never stop.
Good. I want you to be in hospice and think, I wonder if Matt might be a hospice nurse. He might come in and administer my stuff.
Well, of course, I've already had bizarre. I'm like, is he gonna email me? Like, I wonder if he'll email and then we'll like have a email relationship. Not like
inappropriate.
Not inappropriate.
No.
Just like we'll be connected now.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
What if
gonna
he
stop
requested a picture of your boobs on the email after several? After like 24 really nice back and forth.
Wait, is he still married?
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay.
Well, I'll
That's a
ask
great
him
answer.
if his wife says it's okay.
Okay, ask her. Yeah.
So what's her email?
Yeah. I'll send her a picture of my boobs.
I
If she
don't-
thinks you should have them, she can send it to you.
I don't want to get him in trouble for asking though. So first I'd have to say, hey, is your wife cool with this?
Yeah.
And then if he said, yeah, she is,
Yeah.
then I would say, okay, great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to email her
Yeah.
and just double check.
That's great. Double check.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get I got the double entendre of the double.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, what a day. What a
day. Okay, I want to make a correction.
Okay.
So you said in school I would close my eyes and I would watch the movie.
Yeah.
My eyes weren't closed.
Oh, they weren't?
No.
Oh.
Because I can't close my eyes in class. That would I'd get in trouble. My eyes were just fully open and I would just like stare at the board or the teacher.
Hold on a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sleep in class, like go out for the whole class on my desk.
Michigan Public School.
Yeah. Well, I'm Magnus cum laude from.
Oh my God. The other day we were doing an episode of
UCLA,
Momsplaining and Kristen said you were Summa and I was like, that's wrong.
Oh, you corrected her?
Well, no, I didn't correct her.
but you were outraged.
I was outraged. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's really wrong and we got to
That's
figure
unethical,
this out.
yeah.
We got to figure this
Yeah.
out. Yeah. Anyway,
Bree was Summa.
so was I.
I know. We know. That's established.
Okay. You brought it up, not me. Okay, so
You weren't closing your eyes. You were watching it.
thank you.
Yeah.
I was watching with my eyes
Staring out
open.
into space. I'd be more worried about you if I was a teacher. If I looked at your wide open eyes and you were fucking disassociated.
I wonder if like that's why I have seizures.
Oh my God. Wow. So maybe he's to blame for that.
Well, that just makes me feel closer to him. That makes me love my seizures.
Oh, yeah. The little Matt tremors. Would you watch it in real time or a little quicker?
I would watch scenes.
Okay.
I couldn't really watch the whole movie. That's an hour and a half. And class is like whatever,
Yeah,
45
maybe
minutes.
even 2 hours.
Okay, a couple more little fackies.
Okay.
How much was Stallone offered for Rocky?
Oh, I hope you find this out.
So at 30 years old, with just $106 in his bank account, Stallone turned down a $300,000 offer.
There we go.
The equivalent of $1 million today.
Okay.
Well, that was in 2014.
Oh my God.
So $1 million
$1.4
in
today.
2014 for the rights to Rocky. He was determined to make the film he wrote on his terms, starring himself.
Yeah.
So cool.
It is very cool. You got to wonder, like we tell these stories. This is kind of like we had a guest on, we were talking about getting over trauma and how we've come to appreciate it. But then you really discount the millions of people that trauma destroyed, ruined their fucking life. So we know this story about the guy that held out, but we don't necessarily know the 6,000 people that turned that down and then they weren't allowed to star in the movie and they had nothing.
Yeah.
So it could be falsely encouraging.
But any encouragement we'll take.
Yeah, we'll take it. That's the American dream in a nutshell. I mean, what percentage of people go from a dirt road to a mansion? Very small. But because it does happen, we all cling to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Rocky did win Best Picture. I'm sorry, 77.
We got to watch that.
And Best Actor, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay. Can this be?
Fucking sweep.
Wow.
It's a great movie. We should watch it.
Okay, the Martin Luther King quote that Matt referenced is, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy."
Yeah. He's kind of biting on Lincoln, one of Lincoln's quotes. That happened 100 years before,
Well,
though.
maybe he bit on somebody else's.
Probably. But Lincoln's was, if you want to know a man's character, give him great power. Or something like that.
That's it.
Okay, but that's the theme of it.
If you want to test a man's character, give him power.
Okay, pretty
pretty-
close.
that was
almost
Pretty
exact,
close.
yeah.
Pretty close. Who's closer, Matt or I, percentage-wise?
Shit. I didn't write down the exact way he
Well, maybe
phrased
you
it.
should watch without a paddle with your eyes open, okay? Why don't you try that on?
Okay.
Okay.
No, because you do an Indian accent and it's offensive. You
Yeah,
told
it's
me
very
that.
short, though.
Okay. But I haven't watched that because of that. Well, actually, that's made up.
Yeah, you just don't even want to see it.
No, I do, but you don't want me to see that part.
I'm not a very good actor yet. I have moments that I'm good, but I also have some moments that I'm
I've seen you in all of the movies that except you do think I should watch Employee of the Month.
That's my best performance of my life.
No,
Yes,
not.
yes.
That can't be. Parenthood, Idiocracy.
No.
Really?
Well, let me preface it by saying I don't say a single thing that was written in that script. Like I came in, there was nothing there, and I gave it 1,000%.
Yeah.
And I think it turned out great. It's the thing, probably the role I'm proudest of.
Wow. Well, I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
After I watch Good Will Hunting with my eyes open.
Maybe, God, all I ask of you is don't put on Employee of the Month. And while you're staring at the screen, I think you're watching it, you're watching the other movie on your eyeballs. That would be so disrespectful. Just don't watch it if that's going to be the case.
Okay, I can promise you that. Okay, this is a fact that I really want to know, but I couldn't find. And I thought we have an in and we should ask. How much does it cost to get signage on a Grand Prix car?
I don't think he'll know that.
Really? Calling Daniel Ricciardo.
How much signage?
Big.
What a waste of time. I can't send it to him right now. He's literally practicing in Budapest. They have a race this weekend. Too bad?
You know what? Too bad.
Okay.
If he wants to be our friend and be a part of this fact check.
If
people are confused, we're texting Danny Ricciardo, who is currently at a Formula One race right now, training.
Budapest.
And he needs to stop. He needs to pull over his car.
What if he has his phone in his car and it just went off and he's like reading this text as he drives? And then he crashes, and when they find his phone, it's an image of this.
Well, he crashes, but he's hurt, but not that hurt, and then I'll fly out.
Oh, and nurse him.
Yes.
And he'll cry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Help us out for this fact check if you could, period. I know you're not busy in Budapest at all, period. How much do you think this Ocean's 12 signage would have cost? ? Or even better, how much would it cost today, period? Just for one race, ? Should we convince Spotify to put our name on Daniel Ricciardo?
Car?
Yes. For Austin.
Yes.
Should we talk about the fact that he was on Smartless? And I was a little upset by that. And I don't think you loved it either.
I don't like
I'm rooting for the guys from Smartless. Obviously, they're all friends. But I just wanted Danny to be our thing.
Do they even know about Danny?
Apparently, I asked him how it went. Apparently, Bateman knew his shit, which I wouldn't put past Bateman. But I didn't like that either. I wanted to be the one actor.
They don't really know about Danny like we do.
They don't understand. Yeah. They haven't endangered Danny's life on a 100cc dirt bike out in Santa Clarita.
If Danny crashes and gets a little hurt, are they going to fly out and nurse him?
Not a chance.
Exactly.
Not a chance.
God.
Are they going to give him a bath and make sure his genitals are super clean in the bath? No, never.
Only me.
Yes. Are they going to be willing to be nude so that he knows they're not going to steal anything out of his hotel room?
No, they're
don't
not
care
willing
that
to
much.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're not offering nearly the services we are, and by we I mean you.
Okay. So, thanks for giving me that.
Oh, thank you for giving me that. I love Matt Damon. Love him. He's fantastic.
Well, that was the other thing. It was like, of course, we were blinded by this whole thing with me. And then he left and I was like, oh yeah. Also, Matt Damon's a huge movie star. That was a huge get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's easy to forget.
Yeah.
It was all about you for me that day. He was immaterial. And I love him.
Oh my God.
I love him. He's so phenomenal.
I'm just grateful that he exists.
Me too. And he looked great. And when I hugged him, I felt his lats, and they were really nice. They were strong. I bet he can do a lot of pull-ups.
He had a great hugging ability.
He did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've thought about it a lot of times.
Oh, tell me. And does it veer into PQ, or is it just emotional, childhood nurturing?
No, it's both, of course.
Oh, the perfect mix. A father and a lover.
That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. All right, that's it.
Well, that was great. One down, one to go.
I want them to come on together to promote that movie.
Me too. But I want them singular.
Well, I want Ben on singular, and then I want them to come on together. Then we have done all of it.
Yeah, every permutation.
All right, I love you.
I love you. I'm so happy I was here to witness that. God, did that make me happy. I think I showed as many people the picture as you did.
Yeah, I liked that you you got a lot of vicarious joy.
I did. I was so happy for you. Rob, who do you want us to get in here?
Maybe Tom York.
Tom York. Okay.
Or like Phoebe Waller-Bridge would be up there.
Oh, I want her too.
Yeah. But Phoebe can't have the history.
No. I think Jimmy Kimmel was as close to that kind of history for me.
Oh, really?
He was like a first guess. So.
Oh.
Wow.
That's my favorite Tom York song. Rob. It is from The Eraser, and it's called The Eraser. All right.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you.
We are supported by Allstate. Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking that your keys are actually in your hand before you close the car door. Have you ever stood in a parking lot full of sun staring at your keys sitting right there on the seat 4 inches away and completely useless to you? It's a very specific kind of humbling. Yeah. Checking first is a good idea. So check Allstate first for an auto quote. It could save you hundreds. And for fast, reliable help when you need it, add an Allstate roadside plan today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary. Insurance and roadside assistance plans are subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Insurance provided by Allstate North American Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois. Roadside assistance plans provided by Allstate Motor Club, Incorporated, an Allstate affiliate.